QL Sunday Service starts now. With Sean Marash.
I will punch you in your stupid face, and I hate the Knicks. I hate their fans.
And Pat Boyle.
That's probably why I'm not a GM in the NFL, but if I was, I would probably take a huge swing on Michael Penix.
Turning your faith into fortune.
Few things in the gambling world I can't wait to bet more than the Jets under right now.
While serving up hot takes and hot takes.
If Chet Holmgren was on that team, he's probably putting up better numbers than Wemby.
It's BetQL 5-Star Weekend, presented by BetMGM.
How the heck are you? It's Sean Morash. It's Pat Boyle. It's 5-Star Weekend here on BetQL across all of our great BetQL Odyssey platforms. The app, free, ding-a-ling-a-ling, a ring, ring, ring. Here we are. It's a Memorial Day weekend.
Whoa. Yeah, get him out, baby. Get him out.
What a start to the show. Hello, Pat. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing better.
By the way, God bless me and the heck with you. You know, a little bless you wouldn't have hurt there. We'll start the show. A little nice, good karma.
Well, you know, I don't really believe in that stuff. So who's really blessing you? I'll bless you. I will bless you, Sean.
Why can't you bless me? You're St. Patrick Boyle.
All right, ready? Here we go. You have been blessed by St. Patrick. There you go. For the double sneeze. Double sneeze is good.
Come on, man. Good karma, good aura in the air. We got some bets to make today. So, first of all, Pat, you're a summer guy, I think. I'm a summer guy. We love this, right? It's the unofficial kickoff to summer weekend. The pool steps have been placed, memorialized inside my pool. The pool is open, ready to go, and away we go. So I love this time of year. The bikinis on the beach, not for me, for others. The pool swimming, the grilling, the sausage and peppers in the air, the hot dogs, the burgers. We're going to do a lot of summer stuff throughout the show because that's what everybody's in the mood for. But, of course, we trek on with conference finals across the NHL and NBA. We get the West dancing in the NBA tonight, the East dancing in the NHL a little bit later on this afternoon, and we will circle on all of those, Pat. You juiced up? You excited? The conference finals tickling the undercarriage for Patty Boyle?
Yeah, they absolutely are. Yeah, you said you're not a, bikini. The bikini's not so much for you, for others looking, but you can't touch. You're more so sausage, wiener, big dogs, dongles.
Oh, listen, when they come off the grill, a good snapping wiener in my mouth, I love it. I absolutely love it.
Ketchup, but I am a summer guy. I feel rejuvenated, Sean. Waking up every day and it's like 70 and you don't have the 25-degree wind smacking you in the face. Folks that live in the South and Florida and California where for the most part it's warm all year, they don't get it. They don't get what this weekend is about. Well, from Memorial Day standpoint, obviously we're honoring those that gave their lives. But in terms of the beginning of summer, people that live in all year-round warm weather cities, they don't understand the feelings of euphoria, that we feel like a little kid again. We're rejuvenated. We have life. We have life. Your Rangers have some life. I'm not sure for how much longer. We'll get into that.
I can tell you for another 3 weeks longer. I can tell you that. Okay.
We'll get into some hoops. But yeah, man, I know you were down the Jersey Shore for WFAN's kickoff to summer. That looked like a blast. I will be doing some barbecuing with the family after the show today. A little pool with my sister's 4 boys. Those animals, I'm sure they'll try to drown me, but it's a great day, man. It's a great weekend.
It's a great weekend. So away we go. And we're going to have you all summer long here on Sunday mornings here on BetQL. So, look, man, there's hot takes, there's hot cakes, there's all of it. We might as well get it started. Let's roll.
Good morning, people. Boy, do I need some hot takes and hot cakes. Pat Boyle and Sean Marash, give it to them.
All right, so we do this at the start of every single hour. If you're a new listener, welcome aboard. I'm Sean Moore. She's Pat Boyle, as you've already alluded to, and a couple knuckleheads, as they say. We give you either a hot take or a hot cake, which is a bet to start every hour. I'm going take, and I think we're dancing along the NBA same lines here. I can't believe I've been refusing to accept this, Pat, as a scorned lover of the Brooklyn Nets. But I think now, after I was in denial, you were right. I was wrong about the Denver Nuggets the last time we spoke. I thought they would still prevail and win that series, and the whole playoffs was the Nuggets Invitational. Now I stare at the way the playoffs have unfolded, the way the conference finals, especially after last night with the Boston Celtics, with that big comeback taking a 3-0 lead, have developed. And I can't believe I'm going to say this. There's a good chance Kyrie Irving gets a happy ending out of this postseason. And that he just doesn't deserve it. It shocks me. The Boston Celtics clearly, I think, would be the favorite over the Dallas Mavericks in an NBA final if it got to that point. But it is very much on the table. Kyrie Irving, who every time he went to a new location in his career, Cleveland to Boston, Boston to Brooklyn, Brooklyn to Dallas, Kyrie Irving basically early on ducked returns. A little injury would pop up here. Something would pop up here. I don't want to go back to Cleveland. I don't want to go back to Boston. I don't want to go back to Brooklyn, all of this. And then eventually he made his way back. And when he made his way back in the past, when he went back to Boston with Brooklyn, he was wiping his feet on Lucky Leprechaun. I love the whole thing. Boston fans hated him. I thought Kyrie Irving was left for dead and was going to ruin the Dallas Mavericks. I really did. I thought Luka would be asking out and everything. And yet here we are on May 26, 2024. And not only are the Mavericks not a wreck as they enter tonight, though, big underdogs plus 6.5. I understand we have a long series to go here, but you have to like what you've seen from Dallas early on versus Minnesota. We're staring at Kyrie Irving going back to Boston again with a team more suited to win a championship than when he got swept and bounced with the Nets in that 2022 series. Boyle, I think there's a chance we walk away in a couple weeks and Kyrie Irving undeservedly gets this happy ending, this FU to Boston, after he should have been the one wrecking the Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. Well, undeserved in the sense of, what kind of teammate he has been over the last couple of years.
And by the way, not a lot of rumors of that in Dallas. So I do have to give him credit to some extent, but it's just like, how many chances do you get before that? This sucks. Good for Maverick fans. Sucks for me.
Yeah, I mean, as a Score Nets fan, you feel it extra hard. And as a person that wanted to see Kyrie, I loved him when he was with LeBron. I didn't want to see him fail in Boston. I mean, obviously from a Knicks fan standpoint, I wanted to, but I never had any ill will towards him until he got to the Nets. And then he basically quit on that team every opportunity he could and, helped blow it up and had nothing but bad things to say, had nothing but excuses and distractions as to why he couldn't step on the floor against the Dallas. And you're right, you and I are both thinking this isn't going to work. Luka Doncic's going to be asking for a trade. They're wasting the prime of Luka's career. And then, man, I mean, that duo has turned into something spectacular, something special. Like, they are unbelievably good together right now. The two of them with their different, tempos that they play at and their different styles. Kyrie can create his own shot. Some of the best handles we've ever seen. Some of the best finishes we've ever seen. Uses it with his speed and athleticism, where Luka uses it with his strength, and it doesn't look fast, but man, I mean, he is just you can't guard him. You can't guard him. He's unguardable. And yeah, like you said, they have not only turned it up on the offensive end, but they have actually played some good defense. Kyrie as well. Taking Anthony Edwards out of these games. Ant-Man has looked ant-sized so far through the two games in the Western Conference.
You slept
Finals.
on that one? You slept on that line tonight?
Maybe I was waiting to use it. I was waiting to pull it out of the holster. And I got to give the Dallas front office credit again. I got to give the coaching staff, Jason Kidd, credit. He has coached his ass off in this series and in this playoffs. And, I'm watching Daniel Gafford, from a guy that likes to gamble and watch a lot of NBA. I'm watching Daniel Gafford getting punked when he was with Washington this year. And then he goes to Dallas. Him and Derek Lively, the towers that they have been tremendous. So, yes, from a personal standpoint, I agree with you. Kyrie Irving could get a happy ending that he doesn't deserve. From a on-the-floor, on-the-court basketball standpoint, I mean, dude, they have gotten better and better and better. They're the definition of a team that got hot towards the end of the regular season, and they've carried it into the playoffs. But I would love nothing more to see Kyrie and the Mavs blow this 2-0 lead.
Absolutely. And off of last night's amazing comeback, no Halliburton on the court. The Pacers look dead and buried. You have a hot take, don't you?
I do. And I'm just going to say it first, and then I'll explain it. The Boston Celtics deserve way more credit than we've been giving them. And these two wins, Game 1 and Game 3, that have helped them put up a 3-0 series lead, I think it's more so about Boston being able to make comebacks and their never say die mantra, rather than, Indiana just choked it. Indiana just gagged. The Pacers just choked it away. Rick Carlisle should have called timeouts. They can't inbound a basketball. We got to give Boston a lot of credit, man. I mean, and let's be honest, as gamblers, there hasn't been value on the Boston Celtics for months. Since they started running away with the Eastern Conference early in the season. Their odds to win the East. And then as we got near the playoffs, I mean, they were freaking plus like 150 to win the NBA Finals before it even began. And then, the Knicks start getting injured, and they're sure, they cakewalk through a decimated Heat team. They cakewalk through a decimated Cleveland team. Yeah, they had one clunker each series, and other than that, they're winning every game by 20 points. And just because Tyrese Halliburton didn't play last night doesn't mean that Boston shouldn't get credit for that win. Shouldn't get credit for making Indiana blow another lead with or without Halliburton. Because let's be honest, the Boston Celtics have been without Kristaps Porzingis for basically 2 whole series now. And their offense has been totally revolutionized with him at the 5, with him spreading the floor, with what he can do shooting the 3. So they've been without him for the last, 9 games now? 8 games? And they have been just fine. They have been just fine. Sure, you want to crush Rick Carlisle for once again not calling a timeout when you got Nembhard bringing the ball up, and he's basically, one-on-one against Drew Holiday, and the rest of the Pacers aren't even up the rest of, the floor yet. Call a timeout and set something up, Rick. Learn how to inbound a basketball. Learn how to protect the lead. Sure, those are all valid, but you got to give the Boston Celtics credit for pushing them, for hitting their shots late. As much slander as Jason Tatum has gotten here these last couple of weeks, whenever he doesn't go off, and he's gotten a lot of slander. I mean, he turns in a near 36-point triple-double last night, set the tone early, and even when Boston fell behind, he kept making his shots. He kept bringing them back in it. Al Horford, 7 freaking threes last night. So, Naz Reid hit 7 threes. We want to crown him as, the next, NBA fan favorite. Al Horford hit 7 threes.
Yeah.
They deserve a lot of freaking credit, man. And trust me, I want to see them lose just as much as the next person because there's been really no betting value on them for the last couple of weeks during these playoffs at all. So, again, if you have an NBA, a Celtics future ticket that you're sitting on for them to win the final, it's not great value, I can tell you that, unless you got it at the beginning of the season. But, man, it's time to stop hating on the Boston Celtics just because we haven't bet them or just because we want to see them lose. It's time to give them credit for as many layups as they may have gotten in the first and second round. They're a 64-win team, and they just continue to take care of business.
I don't deny all of that. However, one thing is abundantly clear now. It kind of feels like now or never for this group of Boston Celtics. And I know that Jaylen Brown and Tatum, by the way, good for the front office on not breaking that up. Remember, we were sitting here a year ago thinking Jaylen Brown get traded or, dumped out, free agent, whatever you do, sign a trade, figure it out. They kept them together. They added Drew Holiday, who obviously comes up enormous last night late defensively, as he had done time and time again with the Milwaukee Bucks. But we respect Minnesota, we respect Dallas, and they are both loaded with talent, clearly. We are not talking about the Denver Nuggets here. We are not talking about the Warriors dynasty here. This feels like, if you're the Boston Celtics, when you accomplish this and you make easy pickings out of the Indiana Pacers, at some point you're going to have to beat one of these Western Conference teams and actually get a title here in the Tatum Brown era. And if they don't do it now, you never want to say never because they could easily be back there next year because clearly it feels like the East is the only place where parity doesn't reign, but the East is going to continue to get better. We're going to see, I would think, full health Lillard and Giannis next year. What do the New York Knicks do? It is not going to be easier for Boston to get out of the East, and they're not probably going to have a matchup in the West again like this where it's either a very unknown Minnesota team that's rallied or a Dallas team where still, as much as you may like them, anything can happen. Kyrie, they're not fully penetrable. I think I used that right. And my bottom line is this. If the Celtics get to the finals this year and they're playing either the Minnesota Timberwolves or the Dallas Mavericks, and you don't win a title now, I mean, it's when do we stop believing that this Boston team is going to win a championship? Because, frankly, for as good and as constantly consistent like that as they have been, very overrated era of Boston Celtics basketball. I mean, they are the creme de la creme when it comes to winning championships as a franchise, and it has been a long, what do we go back to 2008 at this point? It has been they got a longer drought than the Yankees. It's crazy. Yeah,
and I hate you, Sean. I love you and I hate you because you had a better take than I had about the Celtics and the Pacers. That was the better take. I tried to be, I'm trying to go against the slander and the hate the Celtics have gotten, and I think the best conversation.
Well, it's pre-slander.
Well, the best conversation to have is, like you said, it's now or never. They don't win a title this year, it's a failure. You win 64 games. You're going up against 2 teams in the West that, like you said, loaded with talent. Anthony Edwards has, not in these last 2 games, but him and Kat have been superstars this year. Kyrie and Luka have found their chemistry. Dallas defense has been off the charts since the trade deadline. But you're right. The Boston Celtics don't win the title this year. When are they ever going to win one? And it's a big failure if they don't get it. You took a better angle than I did. I'll admit that. I'll admit that to America.
No, look. In America, there's better angles, and you're going to see plenty taken by the Rangers over the Florida Panthers later on this afternoon. And you already saw it this morning as I've taken better angles on Pat Boyle. And frankly, Tyler Morales, our producer today, has already taken better angles than Mario ever has on this show. Apparently, it's Rob Brown and Pat Boyle this morning. You're watching 5-Star Weekend presented by BetMGM. We'll be right back.
The BetQL Network presented by BetMGM.
Baseball is winning on the BetQL network with Bet for the Cycle featuring Cody Decker.
Cody Decker, former professional baseball player, turned professional smartass on the radio.
And handicapper Rob Brown.
Couldn't hit a baseball off a high school pitcher. That's why I played soccer.
Double plays, props, and parlays.
Not only Blue Jays run line here, Cody, I might tease it up to an alternate run line of -2.5.
Join the chaos every Saturday from noon to 4 Eastern.
Can you explain to me how these are the same odds? Can someone please explain to me how these are the same odds?
Exactly what I was
I've
gonna
looked at
say.
this over and over and over again.
On your home for wagertainment, the BetQL network, presented by BetMGM.
Are you ready for the most interactive sports gambling show? Introducing BetQL's Send It In with PJ Glasser. We want to hear from you. Send It In is about your picks, your trends, and your fades. Share your thoughts, predictions, and your best daily best bets with the Send It In community. Set your reminders, mark your calendars, and get ready to send it in on weekday afternoons at 1 Eastern on Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. On your home for wagertainment, the BetQL network, presented by BetMGM.
Baseball is winning on the BetQL network with Bet for the Cycle featuring Cody Decker.
Cody Decker, former professional baseball player, turned professional smartass on the radio.
And handicapper Rob Brown.
Couldn't hit a baseball off a high school pitcher. That's why I played soccer.
Double plays, props, and parlays.
Not only Blue Jays run line here, Cody, I might tease it up to an alternate run line of -2.5.
Join the chaos every Saturday from noon to 4 Eastern.
Can you explain to me how these are the same odds? Can someone please explain to me how these are the same odds?
Exactly what I was
I've
gonna
looked at
say.
this over and over and over again.
On your home for wagertainment, the BetQL network, presented by BetMGM.
Are you ready for the most interactive sports gambling show? Introducing BetQL's Send It In with PJ Glasser. We want to hear from you. Send It In is about your picks, your trends, and your fades. Share your thoughts, predictions, and your best daily best bets with the Send It In community. Set your reminders, mark your calendars, and get ready to send it in on weekday afternoons at 1 Eastern on Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. On your home for wagertainment, the BetQL network, presented by BetMGM.
Baseball is winning on the BetQL network with Bet for the Cycle featuring Cody Decker
Cody Decker, former professional baseball player, turned professional smartass on the radio.
and handicapper Rob Brown.
Couldn't hit a baseball off a high school pitcher. That's why I played soccer.
Double plays, props, and parlays.
Not only Blue Jays run line here, Cody, I might tease it up to an alternate run line of -2.5.
Join the chaos every Saturday from noon to 4 Eastern.
Can you explain to me how these are the same odds? Can someone please explain to me how these are the same odds?
Exactly what I was
I've
gonna
looked at this
say.
over and over and over again.
On your home for wagertainment, the BetQL network. Presented by BetMGM.
Are you ready for the most interactive sports gambling show? Introducing BetQL's Send It In with PJ Glasser. We want to hear from you. Send It In is about your picks, your trends, and your fades. Share your thoughts, predictions, and your best daily best bets with the Send It In community. Set your reminders, mark your calendars, and get ready to send it in on weekday afternoons at 1 Eastern on Twitter, YouTube.
Welcome back to BetQL 5-Star Weekend on the BetQL network. Presented by BetMGM.
Anybody want some curveballs on 5-Star Weekend here on BetQL? Patty Boyle, you want a little curveballs?
Yeah, throw me your curveball. You hang it, we bang it, baby. You hang it, we bang it. You want to get
All right,
banged?
so here's the setup. Everybody loves a little banging of a curveball here on Memorial Day weekend. Here's the setup. Today, Tyler Morales, who is basically the Ben Zobrist of BetQL. He has his hands in the pot, producing digitally, regularly producing so much. I worked on him years ago on You Better You Bet. He's still sticking around there. He pops his head out on a Sunday morning on the weekend. He's everywhere. He'll bet MGM tonight. So Tyler Morales is the do-everything guy on the BetQL roster.
How about a Ben Zobrist reference? Where the hell did that come from? That's a curveball
Well,
for sure.
on a championship team, played all the positions. You know what I mean? He's a super utility guy, and there's extreme value in that. So I was really excited with my BetQL history to work with Tyler today. He's got all sorts of kooky bets, good flag football player, the whole nine. Right, Tyler? People don't forget. All right. But why is Tyler Morales in and not our usual producer, Mario? It also dawned on me that I remember having this scenario. Pat, this is your first summer with us here on BetQL's 5-Star Weekend. Mario missed last year at this time. And it's not just because it's Memorial Day weekend. I know people are on the move. People travel. It's an interesting weekend. Mario is a born and bred Indiana resident. I mean, he looks like he's from San Diego, but he's from Indiana, and he thinks like the center of the world is Indiana. Meanwhile, no disrespect to anybody in Indiana, but get serious. So he takes off every year on the Sunday because he goes to the Indy 500. It's his annual thing. And I guess if you lived in the state of Indiana or near Indianapolis, that makes sense, right? Like it comes around. It's one of these traditional things. And I had this take last year, and I feel even stronger about it this year, and I've never run it by Patty Boyle. Right now, there's rain in the forecast, which would suck for everybody who loves the tradition to go to the Indy 500. I really believe this. You could go up and down the sports calendar, and I'm talking about the 4 major sports. You could talk about soccer. You could talk about the Olympics. You could talk about horse racing, tennis, whatever you want to do. I firmly believe, world or in this country, that there is no more overrated sporting event than the Indy 500, which will take place today. You talk about something where people have been duped into thinking they should care, when in reality, there is nothing to care about. Maybe you can drink and pound drinks and have a good time. Guess what? I could do that on a lot of sporting events. Get lost. And if I drop dead on this earth tomorrow, and I've never visited the Indy 500, the Brickyard 5, whatever the heck's going on there, I will rest peacefully forever and ever and ever. Pat, can you think of another one that's that overrated?
Another sporting event?
Yeah.
Well, you took the
This is the
cake right
curveball.
there. Yeah, you took the cake. I agree with you. I mean, watching cars just drive around in a circle, and it shakes the entire stadium when they go past. Yeah, I mean, they're driving 200 miles an hour. I would hope it would. I would hope that the chain link fences that you have up there, though, are sustainable enough not to, basically collapse when they do drive by. But yeah, let's watch cars drive around a circle. I mean, my goodness, I could care less.
Now, this is where I'm going to defend but agree with you at the same time. I agree on the concept. Like, I've tried to do the NASCAR thing. I have. Daytona 500, and you could gamble on it. And look, anything you can put money on it, I'm going to love as an American. The inherent problem with car racing as a sporting event, I think there's two problems, actually. Number one is that it does get boring after a while. And any sporting event that I could get up, stand up, go outside for a little bit, come back, and feel like I didn't miss much, to me, I think at its core is a problem, right? In football, you don't want to miss a down. If it's a big basketball playoff game, you could get up and miss a huge 10-point swing. You could miss the goal in hockey, a big home run in baseball. Maybe you'll miss a wreck but sitting down 4 or 5 hours for some of these races, which is why Formula One has worked, right? It's a quicker, you're in and out. I still can't really get into it, but the timing, they've taken care of that. Here's problem number 2. NASCAR, whenever I try to get into it, I'm done in the fall. You can't be having your most important races that lead into your playoff and everything else September, October, November weekends when we're watching football. Baseball has enough of a problem with that with its own postseason. I can't commit to NASCAR Day weekend. So if NASCAR wrapped up by Labor Day weekend, I might be able to stick with it because I understand the intrigue. But that's why the Indy 500 is actually more overrated. Because at least in NASCAR, the big names are the big names, and if you care about like seasonal stuff, right? Starting Daytona, there's a point system. You can figure it out. The Indy 500 is not an American-based sport. IndyCar racing really, even if the biggest race is there, it's all over the world. It's traveling, this, that, and the other thing. It's not the same as NASCAR. So you get hyped up, you drink a ton, maybe you bet on it today. But ultimately, when you walk away from that race, you no longer care about the rest of the year. At least even in horse racing. If you care about the Kentucky Derby, you probably care about the Belmont Stakes. You get at least 3 races out of it. I don't care. I mean, a one-shot deal with a bunch of guys I've never heard of. By the way, the favorite today is Joseph Newgarden. I wouldn't know Joseph Newgarden if he pulled down his pants and slapped his butt cheeks on my nose. Who knows? I mean, that's the favorite for the Indy 500 today. How could you get into this? And you have people like Mario, I got to go every year. Maybe it's a really cool event. That's the thing. If it's just a cool event to be at, that's one thing. It's not a cool event to hype up. The Indy 500, go scratch your ass. Sorry, Pat.
Yeah, you said it all. I got nothing to add to that. I will say that I think there's another overrated sporting event every year. And, again, off the field, incredible heroes. Thank you for all you do for our country. On the field, the Navy-Army game every year. I mean, you talk about the most...
I will allow you to slander the game, but you got to call it by its right name.
What's the name? What's the right name? It's Army-Navy.
You just called it the Navy-Army game.
Army-Navy?
Yes. Thank you.
All right. Well, Navy leads the all-time series. So, when they've won 62 to 55 times, they should be the Navy-Army game until Army overtakes them. But, I mean, dude, these last couple, and for the most part, the two programs that are, fringe, like 1AA teams or whatever the hell the reclassifications are. Like, there's a couple of years Navy's been top 25. Like, they actually could throw the football rather than run the triple option every single play over and over and over and over and over again. And you got two offenses that are just totally incompetent. Every now and then you get an exciting somewhat game. And with 2017 in double overtime 2 years ago. But for the most part, 17-11, 15-0, 17-10, 21-17. Like, these games are not exciting. It's not good quality college football. And we go from watching – hold on, Sean. We go from watching college football all year. SEC football, Big Ten football, Big 12 football. We watch some of the best players play week in and week out every Saturday. And then we watch the conference championship games. And we're all ready to go for the college football playoff and bowl season. And on a week in mid-December, when we've got a full NFL slate, a weekend of games, and usually middle December, we're getting Saturday games now in the NFL because they're pigs. And God forbid they can go one Saturday without games as we get towards Christmas. And yet everybody, the Army-Navy game. I can't wait for it's the same thing every year. It's overrated.
All right. Can I agree? And this is like the second time in the segment I'm going to agree and disagree at the same time. I do think the Army-Navy game is overrated. I do. The style of play stinks, all of it. I have been to several Army-Navy games, and probably similar to how people will sell you on the Indy 500. the pageantry is unbelievable. Now, the problem with the pageantry of the Army-Navy game is you better be in that building early because the walkout and this is terrible. I'm forgetting what they call them, the people that come out. The, oh, God.
The midshipmen.
Not the midshipmen, not the recruits. There's a name for it. The cadets. The cadet walkout when they announce, this infantry or whatever, and they walk out in formation. It is really cool. It's a spectacle to see. The flyover, the coin toss. The pageantry is great. The football is not great. But here's why Army-Navy will never be as overrated as the Indy 500. A, we love football, even if it's really bad football. We will find a way to like football. Also, the timing of it. The Army-Navy game traditionally, and they're going to start to run into a problem with the college football playoff as they figure that out, being on the weekend after the conference championships. I am in full-blown football mode. We have the NFL coming on the next day. That day, even if the game stinks, I am used to watching college football on a Saturday. So on that Saturday, when I put on Army-Navy, even if it's bad football and I throw a bet and it's usually the under and whatever, at least inherently I'm still in football mode. Unless you are watching and living and breathing every NASCAR race every weekend, which most Americans who get into the Indy 500 are not, and they're definitely not watching IndyCar racing every weekend, to parachute in on Memorial Day weekend in the middle of the NBA and NHL postseason, well, not really the middle, towards the tail end, baseball going on, it's so out of place to me. And just because it takes place on Memorial Day weekend, it's like this great American event. So it's a good one. You bring up a good one in Army-Navy, but it still can't top the Indy 500 for me. It's a good question to have. By the way, let's have fun today. At Sean Morash on Twitter. At Pat Boyle 51. 51?
Come on, you know the number.
I'm forgetting. Connor Green's 51.
44.
Sorry, that's 44.
44.
At Pat Boyle 44. Hop on Twitter, hop on X. We want your most overrated sports events of the year because I think today nothing beats the Indy 500. And could you imagine taking off work for it? Could you imagine? Could you imagine after a hot streak on Dingbat taking off to go do that? Come on now. Tough to get.
Yeah,
Tyler Morales, by the way. Tyler Morales, who loves him betting some football. Tough to get excited about a game with a total of 35 every year. Oh, we get excited. Well,
that's why I can make the argument.
Under.
That's why I can make the argument Army-Navy game is more overrated than the Indy 500. You said just because we're in football mode, and all of a sudden, you want to get excited about a game where there's no offense? Who wants to do that? I can't wait to bet the under. I can't wait to bet the under 34.5. I can't wait to bet the under 34.5 and watch, the triple option be ran 3,075 times in a row.
I can wait. I can wait. And that's the thing, Pat. See, you're, for as good of the bets you give out here, and you'll give us a tennis bet from time to time, you got no chops, kid. It's not about betting a standard total. The fun of the Army-Navy game? You make that under even further. You find an alt total, and then you really sit there and sweat. Oh, man, is this game going to be 6-9, 7-3? I can't believe I just said 6-9. You should never put the lower score first. That's what. Come on, kid. Wake up a little bit. A little alt line here. That's the way you got to go. A little alt line.
Yeah. All right. I mean, even then, you're rooting for no offense. You're rooting for a boring game. I can think of 8,000 better ways to spend a holiday weekend where my Sundays are occupied with the NFL every single week. And I get one Saturday during the holidays to actually do something. That's the day of shopping. I am not sitting home and saying, let's go. Give me a 10-7 game here, Army-Navy. I can't wait to watch this.
Now I do gain some respect for you. You're still a hands-on, send me to the mall shopper guy, huh? Not all online for you?
I'm a man of the people, Sean. I get out, I mix it up, I hustle and bustle.
I don't mind that, though. I'm kind of like you. This is so out of place on Memorial Day weekend, but Christmas time, holiday time, getting in the store, the hustle bustle, the long lines, seeing that Santa with the bad breath, the trees. I'm into it too. I'd rather do that than click a button. Good for you, Pat. Real man of the people. Good for you. Now, real quickly tonight, Timberwolves and Dallas. Dallas leads the series 2-0 as now it comes back to Dallas. By the way, what a run for that arena as they go back and forth with the Stars last night, who had a big win as well. What do you think tonight? Does Dallas take a stranglehold like Boston just did in Indiana?
I gotta take my bias of what I want to see out of it because I just want to bet Minnesota plus 2.5 just because I want to see a competitive series. And this series has been competitive through 2 games, but Dallas has won both games, and Minnesota absolutely should have won game 2. And Boston looks like, maybe Indiana gets game 4 and stays alive. It looks like it's 5 at most again. So, like, I got to take what I want to see out of it. And I got to just say, through 2 games, Dallas has been the better team. They've executed better. And I mean, look, I thought big bounce back opportunity for Anthony Edwards in game 2. He had a slow game 1. He said he was tired. He basically told us, hey, I've got to be more aggressive. And he basically comes up very, very short again, ant-sized, if you will, again, to use that twice in the first hour. Now, he hasn't cracked 20 points in either of the first 2 games. So, if Anthony Edwards didn't step up in game 2, is he now going to step up in game 3? I mean, can we really trust him here? Especially with, we saw a tweet that he is getting oxygen to a gas mask basically on the sideline. This isn't he's not in altitude. I mean, he is being run ragged trying to defend Kyrie and Luka, that it has taken his offensive game out of the equation. So unless that changes, Ant Edwards has to go for 30 tonight for Minnesota to have a chance. He has to.
I agree. It should be a fascinating game. Good game to stay up with. A lot of people not having work tomorrow. I'm sure it'll be a very boozed up crowd for the Mavs and Timberwolves tonight. I kind of think the Mavericks are going to win. Why do I have a feeling we're going to end up thinking we knew Boston series wouldn't be great. Thought maybe Indiana would take a game or 2. I think we could get a combined 9 games out of the conference finals, which would really be a shame because it's been a really fun NBA postseason to date. All right, we come back. It's our weekly take a little peek-see at the NFL award season, and I had to be honest, I've had it with the love for one team in the NFL already, and we're not even in June. Not even in June. It's Patty Boyle. It's me, Sean Morash. It's BetQL's 5-star week on a Memorial Day Sunday. Get that chlorine pumping in the pool, baby. We'll be right back.
And Twitch on your home for wagertainment, the BetQL network presented by BetMGM.
Baseball is winning on the BetQL network with Bet for the Cycle featuring Cody Decker.
Cody Decker, former professional baseball player, turned professional smartass on the radio.
And handicapper Rob Brown.
Couldn't hit a baseball off a high school pitcher. That's why I played soccer.
Double plays, props, and parlays.
Not only Blue Jays run line here, Cody, I might tease it up to an alternate run line of -2.5.
Join the chaos every Saturday from noon to 4 Eastern.
Can you explain to me how these are the same odds? Can someone please explain to me how these are the same odds?
Exactly what I was
I've
gonna
looked at
say.
this over and over and over again.
On your home for wagertainment, the BetQL network, presented by BetMGM.
Are you ready for the most interactive sports gambling show? Introducing BetQL's Send It In with PJ Glasser. We want to hear from you. Send It In is about your picks, your trends, and your fades. Share your thoughts, predictions, and your best daily best bets with the Send It In community. Set your reminders, mark your calendars, and get ready to send it in on weekday afternoons at 1 Eastern on Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. On your home for wagertainment, the BetQL network presented by BetMGM.
Baseball is winning on the BetQL network with Bet for the Cycle featuring Cody Decker.
Cody Decker, former professional baseball player, turned professional smartass on the radio.
And handicapper Rob Brown.
Couldn't hit a baseball off a high school pitcher. That's why I played soccer.
Double plays, props, and parlays.
Not only Blue Jays run line here, Cody, I might tease it up to an alternate run line of -2.5.
Join the chaos every Saturday from noon to 4 Eastern.
Can you explain to me how these are the same odds? Can someone please explain to me how these are the same odds?
Exactly what I was
I've
gonna
looked at
say.
this over and over and over again.
On your home for wagertainment, the BetQL Network, presented by BetMGM.
Are you ready for the most interactive sports gambling show? Introducing BetQL's Send It In with PJ Glasser. We want to hear from you. Send It In is about your picks, your trends, and your fades. Share your thoughts, predictions, and your best daily best bets with the Send It In community. Set your reminders, mark your calendars, and get ready to send it in on weekday afternoons at 1 Eastern on Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. On your home for wagertainment, the BetQL Network, presented by BetMGM.
Baseball is winning on the BetQL Network with Bet for the Cycle featuring Cody Decker
Cody Decker, former professional baseball player, turned professional smartass on the radio.
and handicapper Rob Brown.
Couldn't hit a baseball off a high school pitcher. That's why I played soccer.
Double plays, props, and parlays.
Not only Blue Jays run line here, Cody, I might tease it up to an alternate run line of -2.5.
Join the chaos every Saturday from noon to 4 Eastern.
Can you explain to me how these are the same odds? Can someone please explain to me how these are the same odds?
Exactly what I was
I've
gonna
looked at this
say.
over and over and over again.
On your home for wagertainment, the BetQL Network, presented by BetMGM.
Are you ready for the most interactive sports gambling show? Introducing BetQL's Send It In with PJ Glasser. We want to hear from you. Send It In is about your picks, your trends, and your fades. Share your thoughts, predictions, and your best daily best bets with the Send It In community. Set your reminders, mark your calendar.
Welcome back to BetQL 5-Star Weekend on the BetQL Network, presented by BetMGM.
All right, BetQL's 5-Star Weekend returns. What a beautiful Sunday. What a beautiful Sunday here, Memorial Day weekend. I'm Sean Morash. Patty Boyle will be back with us just in a second. Look, much like the Indy 500, sometimes you got to take care of business. And that's exactly what Patty Boyle's got going on right now. So to set you up on the sports scene today, obviously a ton of baseball. It is Memorial Day weekend. It's usually the check-in. That's like the classic line, the check-in on where teams are here on Memorial Day weekend. We will do plenty of that coming up in a little bit later on in the show. More hot takes and hot cakes. The end of the show, Sunday Scaries. I'm going to give you a long parlay. Patty Boyle's got a beefcake patty bet where he's got a beef bet. And I'm sure it's probably going to be Boston Celtic related, though I'm probably off on that. 3 o'clock Eastern today, so we're closing in on 5 hours. And I love this. The NHL and NBA gets a little separated today. Instead of running games at the same time like last night with Dallas's win over Edmonton going head-to-head with Boston and Indiana, you get a little separation. So you get the Rangers and Panthers in an enormous Game 3 down in Sunrise, Florida, with that series even at a game apiece. A combined, what do we have now? 6 goals scored through 2 games, completely opposite compared to what you've seen in the Western Conference games. You'll get that game at 3 o'clock. And then, of course, 8:30 tonight, Eastern time, Minnesota Timberwolves, Dallas Mavericks. Should be a fun, might be 8 o'clock actually. It should be a fun one in a game number 3, of course, for them with Dallas leading 2-0. Real quickly, because this is going to be part of my Sunday Scary later on. 5.5 is the total on the Rangers and Panthers. And you saw a 3-0 game. There really was a 1-0 game. And excuse me, I'm going to sneeze again. I keep sneezing. It's not even allergy season. Enough with the sneezing. A 3-0 game, one that was really 1-0, followed by a 2-1 game in overtime. You're getting a lot of juice at -120 on the under at 5.5. But to me, I think that's the only play on a total until further notice, I don't think you can assume that the suffocating defensive style of Panther hockey, combined with the fact that you're getting Sergei Bobrovsky and Igor Shesterkin, two of the better goalies in hockey in this, expecting fireworks and a lot of goals today becomes tricky. Now, that does make it dicier when betting anytime goal scorers, and I'll have a play on that later on, and maybe not worth the squeeze if you're only getting 3 or 4 goals in a game like this. But I think the under remains the only play if you're going to be in on that. I personally would like the Rangers on the money line today. Full disclosure, as many of you know, I am a complete freaking homer. But that being said, I think this series is destined to go 7. I just have a good feeling on the Rangers today. Like Pat said earlier, he would love to bet the Timberwolves minus 110 over at BetMGM, plus 2.5. They're getting. You'd love to bet them because you want a competitive series, but you could make a case home court doesn't matter. It does matter. You saw what Dallas did down in Minnesota for 2, or up in Minnesota for 2 games. The Mavericks win this game. It doesn't mean a sweep's coming, but you can't just bet and place bets based on what you want to happen. And that should be my lesson with the Rangers, and it should be anybody's lesson with the Timberwolves tonight. If you assume I like the Timberwolves plus 2.5 because there's no way Dallas could possibly take a 3-0 series lead, right? There's no way. Of course there's a way. And you could get suckered into a spot like many might have gotten with the Indiana Pacers last night. Now, I know plenty wouldn't have bet them because of the Tyrese Halliburton injury, but when they take a big lead and Dallas roars back, I wouldn't be stunned at all if the Dallas Mavericks are taking a commanding 3-0 lead at all. I am dripping. I hate to be this honest with the audience. I am dripping allergies out of my nose. This is brutal. Absolutely brutal. Can I get a paper towel here? Can I get a paper towel? Real riveting stuff there from me. Real riveting stuff. All right, baseball. Memorial Day check-in. The old, you want to know where a team is at this time and at this weekend every single year. Well, I will tell you where one team is at, and that's the absolute gutter. As yesterday, the New York Mets, Edwin Diaz blew his 3rd straight save. And they lose and they fall 5 back of the wild card. That is immediately a team that you think should be selling. But when you really take a peek ahead, Yankees have now built a 3-game lead on the Baltimore Orioles. Yankees and Orioles are going to tussle all year long. The Guardians, you give them a ton of credit. Amazing season the Royals have had on their tail. But the Guardians should be supplanted, I think, as a firm playoff team this year. And then the West is where I think the fireworks are going to be. The Mariners sit a game over 500. I feel like they've been a better team than a game over 500. Defending champion Rangers, and then the Houston Astros, both well under 500, but within striking distance. Astros only 3.5 back, Texas 3 back. Seattle has not done a good enough job of pulling away and hiding. I think that is where your big race in the American League is going to be all summer long. Is going to be what happens in the AL West. Will the Royals hang around long enough? Can the Minnesota Twins charge? I don't know, but I think this is going to be a Guardians, Yankees, Orioles firmly in the playoffs. Figure out what's going to happen out west. And then, of course, the Phillies have run away and hit already from the Braves. 7 games up. They've been amazing at 38-15. The Central, Brewers have gotten strong pitching, hanging around right behind Milwaukee at 30-21. And, of course, the Dodgers, a nice cushy 5.5-game lead. So if you sit at Memorial Day weekend, you want to do the barometer, temperature check, Dodgers are going to be a playoff team. Phillies, gonna be a playoff team. I'm not ready at 30-21 to plant the flag on the Brewers yet, because who knows? They're always weird at the deadline anyway. Braves should firmly be a wild card team. I'll put those 3 teams in. Yankees, Orioles, Guardians for sure, playoff teams in the American League. And then I think, from there you're going to have, a combined 3 spots in the AL, 3 spots in the NL with a couple division winners. And I think that's your Memorial Day check-in on baseball. Patty Boyle, how are you? You okay? Took care of some business?
Yeah, I am okay. You know what? I think I found the culprit. So I haven't been drinking a ton of coffee lately. I'm a big Celsius guy. That's been my morning.
Love a good Celsius.
Yeah, it's my morning dose of caffeine. Especially I've been working at the station at WFN in New York a lot more during the week. Whereas if I'm working from home, my other job, I will I'll fire up the Keurig. I'll fire up the Keurig. I'll fire up a coffee.
Yeah.
But I haven't had a lot of coffee, so I had coffee this morning. On top of that, my go-to creamer gone. So my roommate bought just.
You don't have a go-to creamer anymore?
But not for the last 2 days. I haven't. So my roommate the other day, he went through the creamer that I supply. So then he decided, all right, well, I'm just going to go out and
your roommate went through. Wait, time out. Your roommate went through your creamer?
Yeah, I mean, that's fair game. Like the creamer, it's household creamer, like it's communal creamer. So feel free to use it whenever. I don't have a problem with that. But then when you go through it, it's Quick Check brand. So I would appreciate it if you could restock with some good creamer. Instead, he mails it in, 2 seconds left on the shot clock, doesn't see the shot clock, and he gets just the standard heavy cream, which has no flavor, no taste. And I think that
you got heavy cream sitting inside you, and it said Indy 500 talk, forget about it. I got to release.
it was sitting inside me, not anymore. Yeah, so the heavy cream combined with the fact that I haven't been drinking a lot of coffee, that just was a instant deadly duo.
I'm going to give you 1 minute to give me a baseball take while I go blow my nose because I need a tissue band. I'm dripping snot all over my shirt. So there you go.
Yeah, I'm going to say the one baseball take I have, just to hit on a couple things actually, is how atrocious the Texas Rangers bullpen has been. And I don't know if they can climb out of this or, like the Houston Astros, they were bad. They were horrible 3 weeks into the season. They have already started to turn it around. The Rangers are in a swoon now that I think is ultimately going to bury them in terms of them ever really having a shot at being a playoff team, because I don't think they are. I think last year they made the run, they made the trades that they had to execute at the deadline. The DeGrom trade has not worked out for them, but even then, their lineup was unbelievable, and they got timely starting pitching this year so far through 53 games. Their bullpen is atrocious. They don't have clutch hitting. Corey Seager and Adolis Garcia can't single-handedly carry this team. And they have a negative run differential right now. Everybody in the AL West has a negative run differential. That's how sad that division has been so far. And the Rangers, I mean, dude, they're on the verge of getting swept by the Twins. After they got swept by the Phillies, after they dropped the series to the Angels, after they dropped the series to the Guardians, after they got swept by the Colorado Rockies. So that's in terms of who I want to bury, a team that I want to bury at Memorial Day weekend. A lot of baseball left. I'm burying the Texas Rangers, Shawnee. I think they are toast.
Burying the Texas, but they're still hanging around. The Mariners haven't done enough to run away and hide. Max Scherzer's still going to come back. I'm stunned. I'm stunned that maybe I shouldn't be, that the Astros have been able to charge back here. It felt like they were not the team that we thought they were, the Joe Espada's Astros. But regardless, I think that's where the majority of your focus and your action is going to be all year long here now is the AL West. And baseball is really going to be at the forefront here once the NBA and NHL wraps, unless everybody wants to pretend to still care about IndyCar racing. All right. Time of the week, we do award week season. All right. Let me just say this. If you're looking at the NFL Coach of the Year and you dare want to bet this on Memorial Day weekend, number one, you're a full-blown degenerate, but I give you credit. I respect it. I understand it. Matt Eberflus at plus 900 odds. Are we serious? We've gone a little too far here. We've gone a little too far, okay? When you look up and down, Jim Harbaugh has worse odds than him. Matt LaFleur has worse odds than him by a long stretch. D'Amico Ryans, everybody loves the Texans. He has longer odds than him. Even Robert Saleh, who I don't love as a head coach. He is coaching the Jets, who everybody thinks will win a bunch of games back this year. Longer odds than him. What are we doing? Can I just ask that? What are we doing with Matt Eberflus? What are we doing with the Bears? Because since the NFL schedules come out specifically, I've heard plenty of sports radio. I've read plenty of social media. I've watched plenty of clips. And I know that there's not much to talk about football-wise. But the love for the Chicago Bears that people are giving right now is out of control. And it doesn't match what we thought pre-draft either, which is a little peculiar. And maybe I've been wrapped in too much of a bubble. But we went a long time in a draft process for about 2 years singing the praises of Caleb Williams. And it felt like the way the USC season went on and all the odd stuff that was crying on mommy's arms, the nail polish, everything else, felt like there were more critics than Caleb Williams, almost too much, right? I would even say almost too much, even if I'm not a believer. But I would not have wanted to be a Bear fan having to make the call where either Caleb's going to be great or he's going to stink and you're going to have seen the warning signs and not picked up on it. But it's almost like the draft has happened. We've taken a deep breath. The schedule came out. And anybody who was critical of believing in Caleb Williams has now gone the other way. What are we talking about? We're going to continue this conversation on the other side. But Eberflus only a plus 900. The Bears are not going to be that great, guys. What are we? A big surprise? I think that's a deeper conversation to have after our hot takes and hot cakes here. It's BetQL's 5-Star Weekend.
And get ready to send it in on weekday afternoons at 1 Eastern on Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. On your home for wagertainment, the BetQL Network, presented by BetMGM.
Baseball is winning on the BetQL network with Bet for the Cycle featuring Cody Decker
Cody Decker, former professional baseball player, turned professional smartass on the radio.
and handicapper Rob Brown.
Couldn't hit a baseball off a high school pitcher. That's why I played soccer.
Double plays, props, and parlays.
Not only Blue Jays run line here, Cody, I might tease it up to an alternate run line of -2.5.
Join the chaos every Saturday from noon to 4 Eastern.
Can you explain to me how these are the same odds? Can someone please explain to me how these are the same odds?
Exactly what I was
I've
gonna
looked at this
say.
over and over and over again.
On your home for wagertainment, the BetQL network, presented by BetMGM.
Are you ready for the most interactive sports gambling show? Introducing BetQL's Send It In with PJ Glasser. We want to hear from you. Send It In is about your picks, your trends, and your fades. Share your thoughts, predictions, and your best daily best bets with the Send It In community. Set your reminders, mark your calendars, and get ready to send it in on weekday afternoons at 1 Eastern on Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. On your home for wagertainment, the BetQL network, presented by BetMGM.
Baseball is winning on the BetQL network with Bet for the Cycle featuring Cody Decker
Cody Decker, former professional baseball player, turned professional smartass on the radio.
and handicapper Rob Brown.
Couldn't hit a baseball off a high school pitcher. That's why I played soccer.
Double plays, props, and parlays.
Not only Blue Jays run line here, Cody, I might tease it up to an alternate run line of -2.5.
Join the chaos every Saturday from noon to 4 Eastern.
Can you explain to me how these are the same odds? Can someone please explain to me how these are the same odds?
Exactly what I was
I've
gonna
looked at
say.
this over and over and over again.
On your home for wagertainment, the BetQL network, presented by BetMGM.
Are you ready for the most interactive sports gambling show? Introducing BetQL's Send It In with PJ Glasser. We want to hear from you. Send It In is about your picks, your trends, and your fades. Share your thoughts, predictions, and your best daily best bets with the Send It In community. Set your reminders, mark your calendars, and get ready to send it in on weekday afternoons at 1 Eastern on Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. On your home for wagertainment, the BetQL network, presented by BetMGM.
Baseball is winning on the BetQL network with Bet for the Cycle featuring Cody Decker
Cody Decker, former professional baseball player, turned professional smartass on the radio.
and handicapper Rob Brown.
Couldn't hit a baseball off a high school pitcher. That's why I played soccer.
Double plays, props, and parlays.
Not only Blue Jays run line here, Cody, I might tease it up to an alternate run line of -2.5.
Join the chaos every Saturday from noon to 4 Eastern.
Can you explain to me how these are the same odds? Can someone please explain to me how these are the same odds?
Exactly what I was
I've
gonna
looked at
say.
this over and over and over again.
On your home for wagertainment, the BetQL network, presented by BetMGM.
Are you ready for the most interactive sports gambling show? Introducing BetQL's Send It In with PJ Glasser. We want to hear from you. Send It In is about your picks, your trends, and your fades. Share your thoughts, predictions, and your best daily best bets with the Send It In community. Set your reminders, mark your calendars, and get ready to send it in on weekday afternoons at 1 Eastern on Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. On your home for wagertainment, the BetQL network, presented by BetMGM.
Starts now. with Sean Marash.
I will punch you in your stupid face, and I hate the Knicks. I hate their fans.
And Pat Boyle.
That's probably why I'm not a GM in the NFL, but if I was, I would probably take a huge swing on Michael Penix.
Turning your faith into fortune.
Few things in the gambling world I can't wait to bet more than the Jets under right now.
While serving up hot cakes and hot takes.
If Chet Holmgren was on that team, he's probably putting up better numbers than Wemby.
It's BetQL 5-Star Weekend, presented by BetMGM. Baseball is winning.
Hi, diddly do. It's BetQL's 5-Star Weekend, hour number 2. And if you're listening and want to see our pretty faces, me, Sean Morris, and Pat Boyle, no worries. You can see on Twitch. Just go to twitch.tv/BetQL. And oh, by the way, if you're on your way into work and want to keep listening to us even after you park your car, with the Odyssey app and Odyssey.com, you can just download the app or visit Odyssey.com. Search BetQL and click on our show, which is 5-Star Weekend. Favorite us to make it easier for you. Download the Odyssey app today to get started. We'll continue that football conversation we were just having about the Bears and Coach of the Year and any odds in just a second. But, Pat, I mean, it's the top of an hour, so we hot take it, we hot cake it, and away we go.
Good morning, people. Boy, do I need some hot takes and hot cakes. Pat Boyle and Sean Marash, give it to them.
We put our thing down, flip it, and reverse it. It's your
Shisterkin, yes, he works it. Gonna shut out the Panthers at home and reverse it. All right. All right. Can we have a safe space here? Can we have a safe space? Trust circle here. I want everybody on the record trust circle. I know that it will make anybody gasp if you dare say anything negative regarding like the WNBA and the Caitlin Clark era. It's not criticized, we all want to support it. I have 2 young daughters who I would love nothing more to put a basketball in their hands and have them make the WNBA. I want to make that very clear before I say this. And I think Caitlin Clark is great for the sport. I think she's great for women's sports. I'm putting this is all leading to the big but, okay? Coming up here. The aura is already off the Caitlin Clark WNBA thing. It is so far gone officially after yesterday, and another loss for the Indiana Fever as they lose to Las Vegas Aces. I will give Ken Barkley this of You Better You Bet. He helped me out in a big way of understanding the betting philosophies of the WNBA, and I'm into it, and I've bet plenty of it. And I went to the game-winning or the championship crowning moment, Las Vegas in Brooklyn over the New York Liberty last year. I was there to say it, and I had a good time. So I think the product is fine for the WNBA. This isn't a WNBA take, but the idea that Caitlin Clark, because of all the momentum she built up at Iowa, coming over to the WNBA was going to now take the WNBA to this next stratosphere, this next level of women's sports where it was going to basically the NBA season was going to continue and we were all as Americans going to be locked into the WNBA. I think that's officially already over and it's not even June. All right. Those first couple games that she played up in Connecticut and at Barclays Center on the road, amazing resale value on tickets, pretty good national TV number. I think that game that was on either ABC or ESPN in Brooklyn, pretty good number. You know, we're talking about hockey numbers there, which is good for women's sports. But now we get to the regular part of this regular season. And what you now have understood, especially at the last night's waxing at the hands of the defending champion Las Vegas Aces, is that Caitlin Clark's team had the number 1 overall pick for a reason. They stink. They're now 1-5. She scores 8 points yesterday. 8 points. I hope that I think that Caitlin Clark will find a way to turn around the Indiana Fever as a franchise and be a big-time player in that league. But by the time she does that, we're talking about 2025, 2026. And unfortunately, by then, I think Caitlin Clark just goes back into the Sue Bird, Breanna Stewart, where we've seen great college basketball players play in the WNBA, and they might be draws in their local market. Maybe if you get some tickets handy, you'd be like, oh, that's cool. They're playing there. I think that that's where we're headed with Caitlin Clark. I think that we've already now gone through a couple weeks of this. If you've seen her or you've watched her on TV, you've gotten your taste. The WNBA already competes with summer as it is, where people are doing other things. Your lake trips, your vacations, your your pools, your beach trips. You're not into sitting inside and watching basketball. So this is not meant to slight the league because, look, any pub is good pub. But I think the WNBA aura of having to see Caitlin Clark play basketball, to me, is officially over, especially with her team spiraling quickly towards irrelevancy, that they will not be a part of the postseason picture when it gets there, Pat.
Yeah, well, but like, what was anybody actually thinking?
Hold on now. Hold on. I think a lot of people, if you weren't paying attention, saw a 12-team league where Caitlin Clark, larger than life, person, thought 12-team league, Caitlin Clark gets drafted. They had 2 first-round picks. I think that, I want to see Caitlin Clark play basketball professionally all year long. And I think that early in the season and leading into that opening night game, there was some thought, I think, from people who don't know the WNBA, like, this is my chance to get into it. And I think you've been now quickly punched in the face where, why am I watching a bad basketball team? And no offense, not the same caliber of hoops that you see on a regular NBA level. It's just, it's not a great product as it is. It's a good enough product. I'm sorry. I think that people are going to be worn off having to see Caitlin Clark. I think it's dead now.
Yeah, I mean, they were a horrible team last year. You look at just the
dude.
Well, hold on. I'm not saying I disagree with you. I'm getting ready to crush anybody that actually thought, like, that's disrespectful to the rest of the teams in the WNBA that are great, solid basketball teams. That's disrespectful to the other women.
Like
in the
Las
league.
Vegas, who killed them yesterday with Asia Wilson.
It's disrespectful to those women and the actual stars of the WNBA right now that have been established, where you can just say, oh, well, Caitlin Clark hits a bunch of threes in college, against Big Ten defenses. So she's just going to come in here and she's going to dominate and score 25 points per game. And Indiana's going to go from 13 and 27 last year. They're going to run the table. They're going to run the gauntlet. That was dumb for anybody that actually thought that. And it's disrespectful to the other stars and the actual solid teams, like you said, Sean, that have established themselves and that are pros, that are professionals. So, yeah, maybe people just had way too high of expectations for Caitlin Clark. I mean, she's still having a decent season so far. She's averaging 15, 5, and 6. Like, she's played pretty damn well. But, yeah, like, last night was a dose of reality for how long it's going to take for her to truly, like, Victor Wembanyama is the generational coming of age talent. He's the next LeBron. He's the GOAT. Like, we have indoctrinated him. We have, thrust this upon him. His rookie season was pretty damn phenomenal.
Right.
And they were horrible. The San Antonio Spurs. That's not taking away from what Victor Wembanyama can become. So I think we just got to have the same expectations for Caitlin Clark. And for anybody that just thought she'd get a first.
We do. But the problem, Pat, is there was a swarm of people who believed Caitlin Clark going to the WNBA would inevitably bring more eyeballs and more focus to the WNBA. And what I'm just telling you is that's not going to happen. Because by the time Caitlin Clark is awesome and is competing for a WNBA title, we've moved on with our lives. If you didn't care, and it doesn't mean that, the young women in America won't care, but I'm just saying, like, if you want the sport to be that massively popular over the summer and you thought Caitlin Clark was going to do that, even if Indiana's great next year, I think it's already too late to the party. You almost needed Caitlin Clark to be on a team where they were going to hum along and compete for a championship this year. And while that was never the case, I think we officially now know it's not the case. If you didn't already know, I think Caitlin Clark just becomes Sue Bird again, and she did fine in the WNBA, but it never attracted the eyeballs that I think people thought it could and would have.
Yeah. So you're saying she needed to do it this rookie season to keep people's attention.
And it was unfair. And it was unfair, but we had a right to sit there and pause for a couple weeks and see if she would just be larger than life and take over the league. And while, like you said, good enough numbers has had it, but the team stinks. And last night versus the defending champs, they didn't belong on the same floor. That's all.
Yeah, I find it tough to disagree with you. Now, there's some people that are probably listening right now that are clenching their fists. How dare you say that about our beloved Caitlin? But you're not wrong.
Yeah, it is what it is.
I got a bet for you, Shawnee.
All right, what do you got?
And I got a friend who's a big Mets fan that helped me cook this one up. And, we have witnessed the collapse of the New York Mets and probably the death of the New York Mets by the start of summer here. By Memorial Day weekend.
Yesterday was the funeral.
They are a dumpster fire. They are atrocious. They blow a lead every single day. They have blown 4 double-digit leads in the last 6 games. Yesterday, they go up 2-1, and they bring Edwin Diaz. By the way, remember Edwin Diaz, Timmy Trumpets, the untouchable closer from 2022, tears his patella celebrating in the World Baseball Classic 2023.
Let me tell you something about that too. What a shame.
I hate you. Actually started the season pretty well, and then just these last 2 weeks, Edwin Diaz has become unraveled. They take him out of the closer spot. He pitches well in the 7th inning of Friday night's game. They bring him back in the closer spot yesterday, and he blows the save immediately. The Mets lose another game. They lose to the Giants. They're now 21-30, and I think they need to blow up the team, trade Pete Alonso, trade these losers like Jeff McNeil, trade Starling Marte, trade all these guys. And then on top of that today, I got a bet. Now, I'm not saying, bet against the Mets. I mean, you probably can, and, they'll probably lose again. But what I like in this game, and this is maybe one of only 6 or 7 over-under outs recorded bets that I will place for the entire Major League Baseball season. And I don't think it's D-Gen, so that's why it's going at the top of an hour here for Hot Takes and Hot Cakes. Logan Webb is starting for the San Francisco Giants this afternoon, and I think the Mets aren't going to sniff him. So let's go Logan Webb over 18.5 outs recorded. That means he's got to get 6 1/3 innings pitched. Now, Logan Webb, you look at his numbers this year, 4-4 with a 3.03 ERA, and he has pitched pretty damn well. His last 3 starts, he's gone 7 innings against Cincinnati, 6 innings against the Dodgers, 6 innings on the road against the Pirates. So I think if he pitches to the level that he has in those last 3 games, the Mets seem to swing at his sinker at his first pitch so many times. The last 2 times he started against the Mets, he pitched against them last month, 8 shutout innings in a win, and then he pitched against them once last year in April, 7 innings, 2-run ball. So I think how pathetic the Mets lineup has been so far this year for the most part, plus Logan Webb has pitched 3 really good starts in a row, plus the last 2 times he's faced the Mets, 7 innings and 8 innings. I think he goes at least 6 1/3 here today. So give me Logan Webb, his over outs recorded, 18.5.
I like it, Pat. I really, really like it. Okay, the Mets stink, and away we go. Speaking of teams that stink, the Chicago Bears. I'm going to go back to this. Matt Eberflus is only plus 900 win coach of the year. Flush that down the turlet. Flush it down the old turlet if you're betting that right now. Especially, by the way, don't bet that in May. But I know we're going to have the conversation now, and it's good for fodder. Don't bet that in May, even if you like juice like that. I just don't get the Bear thing, Pat. How is he favored over so many of these big names like LaFleur I brought up? I don't even like Salah. I brought that up. The idea that you got to take a stab. D'Amico Ryans, teams that you feel pretty confident about making the playoffs, but maybe, have better years than they thought they did last year. Like the Jets would be a good example of that. The Texans, people have high expectations, but if they had a big year, 13 wins, I could see Ryans now getting that credit winning coach of the year. What are we doing with the Bears love? Am I nuts? Eberflus also hasn't even proven that he's a decent enough head coach. Now as a defensive mind, he's going to take an offensive rookie of the year kind of candidate like this. I know they've added to the receiver room, but my goodness, Pat, we're too goo gaga over Bears stuff right now.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Eberflus is not a bad coach. I just don't think he's ever going to win a coach of the year. And for him to have the shortest odds. The shortest odds, and you got Super Bowl winning
coach. Now, it may not be, to be fair, it may not be overall. This just may be in our sheet what we have. Andy Reid might be higher on that list, but of the group of guys that you consider throwing darts on, he has the shortest odds.
Okay, that's a good clarification. And maybe Tyler Morales can let us know here in the next couple of seconds who does have the shortest odds. But yes, in the list that we've received, Matt Eberflus, like you said, has shorter odds than Jim Harbaugh, Matt LaFleur, D'Amico Ryans, Shane Steichen, who, by the way, should have been a finalist if he wasn't, and it was Stefanski who won it for the second straight year for the job, or the second time in 4 years.
He's legitimately the favorite. Tyler Morales is declared. Oh my God,
he's got the shortest odds. He's got the shortest odds. Look at the coaches that have won it the last couple of years. Kevin Stefanski twice in the last 4 years for the job he did in Cleveland. Your buddy Brian Daboll wins it in 2022. Mike Vrabel 2021. It's usually teams now, and Chicago's getting hype. So it's usually teams that have kind of are being buried to start the year that then, squeak their way into 9 wins and making the playoffs. I don't see that happening with the Bears, and they've already got a lot of hype around them. So you're better off thinking
or the adversity. right? Like, what adversity are the Bears going to face this year? People are hyped up, I just don't buy it. And if D'Amico Ryans didn't win it last year over Stefanski with a rookie quarterback and making the playoffs out of nowhere, think about that. Why on earth would Matt Eberflus do it this year?
Yeah, like you have to have a team that either makes the playoffs that shouldn't, or a team that squeaks their way to 8-9 wins when they only should have won 5 or 6. So like a Dave Canales with the Carolina Panthers, Gerard Mayo with the New England Patriots. If you think they're going to win 7 or 8 games, maybe he has a chance. But I don't see it with Eberflus.
All right, if you like baseball, we got you covered the next couple segments. We're going to go over where the divisions are at. I know I've ripped through some of that in the odds. Is there any sleepers we like? Plus, in about 25 minutes or so, Dingbat, some home run plays on this Memorial Day Sunday. BetQL's 5-Star Weekend continues next.
The BetQL Network with Bet for the Cycle featuring Cody Decker.
Cody Decker, former professional baseball player, turned professional smartass on the radio.
And handicapper Rob Brown.
Couldn't hit a baseball off a high school pitcher. That's why I played soccer.
Double plays, props, and parlays.
Not only Blue Jays run line here, Cody, I might tease it up to an alternate run line of -2.5.
Join the chaos every Saturday from noon to 4 Eastern.
Can you explain to me how these are the same odds? Can someone please explain to me how these are the same odds?
Exactly what I was
I've
gonna
looked at
say.
this over and over and over again.
On your home for wagertainment, the BetQL Network, presented by BetMGM.
Are you ready for the most interactive sports gambling show? Introducing BetQL's Send It In with PJ Glasser. We want to hear from you. Send It In is about your picks, your trends, and your fades. Share your thoughts, predictions, and your best daily best bets with the Send It In community. Set your reminders, mark your calendars, and get ready to send it in on weekday afternoons at 1 Eastern on Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. On your home for wagertainment, the BetQL Network, presented by BetMGM.
Baseball is winning on the BetQL Network with Bet for the Cycle featuring Cody Decker.
Cody Decker, former professional baseball player, turned professional smartass on the radio.
And handicapper Rob Brown.
Couldn't hit a baseball off a high school pitcher. That's why I played soccer.
Double plays, props, and parlays.
Not only Blue Jays run line here, Cody, I might tease it up to an alternate run line of -2.5.
Join the chaos every Saturday from noon to 4 Eastern.
Can you explain to me how these are the same odds? Can someone please explain to me how these are the same odds?
Exactly what I was
I've
gonna
looked at this
say.
over and over and over again.
On your home for wagertainment, the BetQL Network, presented by BetMGM.
Are you ready for the most interactive sports gambling show? Introducing BetQL's Send It In with PJ Glasser. We want to hear from you. Send It In is about your picks, your trends, and your fades. Share your thoughts, predictions, and your best daily best bets with the Send It In community. Set your reminders, mark your calendars, and get ready to send it in on weekday afternoons at 1 Eastern on Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. On your home for wagertainment, the BetQL Network, presented by BetMGM.
Baseball is winning on the BetQL Network with Bet for the Cycle featuring Cody Decker.
Cody Decker, former professional baseball player, turned professional smartass on the radio.
And handicapper Rob Brown.
Couldn't hit a baseball off a high school pitcher. That's why I played soccer.
Double plays, props, and parlays.
not only Blue Jays run line here, Cody, I might tease it up to an alternate run line of -2.5.
Join the chaos every Saturday from noon to 4 Eastern.
Can you explain to me how these are the same odds? Can someone please explain to me how these are the same odds?
Exactly what I was
I've
gonna
looked at
say.
this over and over and over again.
On your home for Wagertainment, the BetQL Network. Presented by BetMGM.
Are you ready for the most interactive sports gambling show? Introducing BetQL's Send It In with PJ Glasser. We want to hear from you. Send It In is about your picks, your trends, and your fades. Share your thoughts, predictions, and your best daily best bets with the Send It In community. Set your reminders, mark your calendars, and get ready to send it in on weekday afternoons at 1 Eastern on Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. On your home for Wagertainment, the BetQL Network, presented by BetMGM.
Welcome back to BetQL 5-Star Weekend on the BetQL Network. Presented by BetMGM.
BetQL's 5-Star Weekend on this Memorial Day Sunday. Obviously, the T-Wolves and Dallas Mavericks and what has to be. Would you call it a must-win, can't lose, or a gotta-have-it spot for the Timberwolves tonight? Pat Boyle, your lassoing.
For the Timberwolves, what'd you say? Either must win, can't lose, or gotta have it?
Yeah.
This is it's a must win. It's as close. You can't go down 3-0. They're not coming back from 3-0. It's a must win. For there, it's no implications for Dallas. Maybe the closest thing would be it's a gotta have it. Because you want to go up 3-0. You don't want to surrender the 2-0 dominant lead you built, winning both games on the road. But for Minnesota,
I don't think it's got to have it. I think it's just Dallas is strictly in nice to have it mode. It's not a got to have it for them.
It's nice to have it, not got to have it. It'd just be nice to have it.
Yeah. Nice.
Okay. Yeah, but I think we're both in agreement on Minnesota. It's not a can't lose. It's not a got to have it. It's not a nice to have it. It's a must win. They have to win the game.
It's a must win. Tyler, must win, can't lose, or got to have it for Minnesota tonight. So it's a gotta have it, not a must win. And it's not a can't lose. Okay.
I disagree.
So
I think it's must win is the highest standard of pressure and must win ability and gotta have it ability and can't lose ability. That the must win stands above those two. I don't think so.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think the can't lose stands above anything because you literally can't lose it.
No, you must win. They must win this game. If they don't win this game, they're not winning the series.
I'm gonna put out a little Twitter poll here.
What type of game is it?
What type of game is tonight for the Timberwolves? Okay, and you're gonna have 3 options. All right, here we go. Must win. Can't lose.
Gotta have it.
And what's the third? Again, I gotta have it. And we're going to see. I'll read those. Okay, I'm going to read those in a little bit. Now, Rangers-Panthers today. Both games, both here a game apiece. We could argue about this till the cows come home, but this is now a home game for the Florida Panthers. Be interested to see how many Ranger fans are there. At 1-1, is this for the Panthers a must-win at home, a can't lose at home, a gotta have it at home, or just a nice to have it at home?
For me, this is a gotta have it. They gotta have it. They gotta have this game. They've got to protect home ice. The Rangers punched back with the Barclay Goodrow. Yeah, the Barclay Goodrow snipe Selly wrist shot in overtime. They grabbed momentum back after it felt like Florida was on the cusp, on the precipice of taking that 2-0 commanding series lead and just shutting the Rangers down. So now Florida's got to answer. They got to have it. They got to have this game.
I agree. I think it is a gotta-have-it game. I think today's a nice-to-have-it game for the Rangers because if they do, you're sitting really pretty. But I think it's a gotta-have-it for the Panthers. You don't want to go down 2-1. Now, of course, you can lose it, so I can't put it as a can't lose because the series is over. It's not necessarily a must-win because even if something fluky happened, you take care of business in Game 4. I agree. It's a gotta-have-it game for the Florida Panthers. So we're both in must-win for Dallas Mavericks, gotta-have-it for the Panthers. Oh, no, must-win for the Timberwolves, and a nice-to-have-it for Dallas. Nice to have it. For the Rangers, is it a must win? Is it a can't lose? Is it a gotta have it? Or is it a nice to have it?
For the Rangers, it's a. Ooh. I'm gonna say it's a nice to have it. It's 1-1. Nah, you know what? Well, if they lose Game 3, for me, Game 4 would be can't lose. So I would say
I agree. So, but we're taking this one game at a time here.
Yeah, so Game 3 for the Rangers. I don't want to just say it's a nice to have it and it's like a layup for them. I would say this is a. It's either a gotta have it or
It's not a must win. It's not a can't lose. It's not.
It's either a gotta have it or a nice to have it. I don't think they gotta have it.
Yeah, I think it's just nice to have it today. I think it's a nice to have it.
The pressure goes back on them the pressure goes back on them for Game 4, and it goes to a can't lose.
But it's a big swing. While it's nice to have it, they get put in a precarious can't lose of Game 4. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I think you can make the argument it's a gotta have it, but it's absolutely at the worst, it's a nice to have it.
I agree. Okay.
You should write a book about this, by the way. The Sean Marash levels of winnability and pressure on games.
All right, tonight, Cubs-Cardinals, Sunday Night Baseball. Okay, here we go. For the Cubs, they're 3.5 games back of the division. Is it nice to have it, gotta have it, must win, can't lose?
And how is this series played out? I think the Cubs.
No, I'm kidding on this one. It's baseball. It's
I was going back and forth. The Cubbies. Oh, and Game 1 got banged, so it's only. So this has turned into a mini 2-game series, and I think the Cubbies had a lead yesterday that they surrendered. Yeah, they were up 4-2, and they smoked it in the 8th. Or they're up 4-3, and then the Cardinals scored 4 in the bottom of the 8th. Cubs almost answered back and lost 7-6. They did get 2. So a little 2-gamer now after they blew a lead. I'll say for the Cubs, this is a can't lose.
It's a can't lose. Well, it did bring me into the baseball conversation here Memorial Day weekend when we look at the division odds. Okay, so right now the Yankees hold a 3-game lead. Minus 250 is the favorite in the AL East. By the way, I would not bet that at all. I actually don't mind the Orioles bet at plus 220. They're only 3 games back. They're not going to go away all year. And then forget about it. Rays, Blue Jays, Red Sox. It's going to be a 2-team race. Guardians minus 105 to win the division. Royals plus 250. I actually think that's still pretty good odds on the Guardians at near even money for where they're sitting. And I still think a clunky division. The Mariners at minus 110 to win the division. Again, I like the Mariners. This is weird because you want to bet who you think you win. I don't know how I could confidently say they're going to win the division. Astros plus 200, Rangers plus 300. I think worth throwing a dart on either one of those. How the Braves are still minus 110 to win the division, 7 games back. Not worth betting at all. Phillies, the favorites at minus 115. I mean, nearly even odds with a 7-game lead. Odd. So I bring that up because the Cubs are 3.5 games back here. The Cardinals, 5.5 games back. The Brewers are that team holding the lead. But the Cubs and Brewers both share the same odds at plus 125. Cardinals all the way down at plus 700. And then, of course, the Dodgers. You can't forget about the NL West. Forget about it. Dodgers are running away and hiding. Which team, let's start with this odds-wise. Brewers are plus 125 or Mariners at minus 110. Do you think it's most likely hang on and win the division from Memorial Day on?
Oh, I don't know about either. But the Mariners, all
right. So maybe before you finish answering that, when you look at the other 4 divisions that I'm not mentioning, and again, I made a case for the Orioles. I could make a case for the Royals. Is it fair to say that it's still probably likely the other 4 division leaders, Yankees, Guardians, Phillies, and Dodgers all win their division?
I think the Phillies and the Dodgers are the only ones that that I would confidently say, yeah, like the Phillies aren't going to blow a 7-game lead. I know the Mets had a historic collapse in 2022, but the Phillies,
I agree.
I mean, dude, they put up 5-6 runs every night. Their pitching has been unbelievable, top to bottom in that rotation. Ranger Suarez has been a revel. And how long have the Phillies bullpen been the laughingstock of baseball? And now they're one of the best. They're phenomenal. Yeah. They're phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. So the Phillies, I think you can count on them, and the Dodgers are the Dodgers, right? I mean, the Giants, I feel like they're gonna fade, and the Padres, how pathetic have they been the last 2 years? All the expectations, and now still a ballpark that basically is like for teams for fans to go to San Diego for a weekend and take over the Padres ballpark. I mean, they are like 10-18 at home, pathetic. But dude, those other divisions, we're talking about 3-game leads. The Guardians are even money. They have a game and a half lead, and it's Memorial Day weekend, and they are even money. Like, this is baseball. This is baseball. The Guardians, look how well the Royals have played, and the Twins have, for the most part, been right at the top of that division, splitting division titles with Cleveland for the last 5-6 years now. And a 6.5 game deficit is enough to make the Twins plus 275. I don't see it. I think if you wanted to sit down this weekend, and like you said, Sean, Memorial Day weekend is usually the barometer for a lot of folks, usually when people really start getting into baseball seriously, unless your hockey or basketball team has been out of playoff contention, and you have a good baseball team to watch, and you've been watching every day for a couple of weeks. But for the most part, a lot of folks are really dipping into baseball this weekend for the rest of summer. And if you want to put a futures bet down today, I would not be taking any team that you have to drink any kind of juice on. So any plus money teams, the Orioles at plus 220 when they're 3 games back of the Yankees, and I understand how great your Yanks have been, Shawnee. The Royals at plus 250 with how tremendous that lineup has been and how well they have pitched. I mean, the guys that they are getting to turn in performances, Michael Wacha, Seth Lugo, like that pitching staff has been unbelievable. And you're telling me the Royals plus 250? Other teams that are plus money, the Astros and the Rangers, like you said, both are worth throwing a dart on. The Mariners, those teams are basically 500 teams right now. So I think if you want to place a future on any of these teams, it's got to be ones with the plus money.
No doubt about it. But look, I just think standardly, while I think the Orioles going to be paying the ass all year. I think that obviously the Royals and Twins can hang around. I still think those 4 division winners find a way, but those other ones, man, the Central is going to be so fascinating. I don't trust the Brewers to fully commit, by the way. Remember, they're trading Corbin Burns. Last year they trade Hader. The Brewers now have a track record of not fully even committing to believing in themselves, which is why I wouldn't bet them right now as the favorite in that division at all. But this is kind of sad for baseball because, when you think of the times the games are played and big East Coast baseball fans or whatever, I think your most juice in September is going to come from a 3-team race out west. I know you're burying the Texas Rangers, but I think that the juice of the baseball races is going to come from that division. And Julio Rodriguez trying to hang on for dear life and what the Astros have. Do you think that the witch is basically dead with the Astros? Do you think they have a path to a World Series this year, as we said at Memorial Day?
I mean, it's tough to imagine that just because of how slow of a start they've gotten off to. But, I mean, the Phillies basically had an identical record 2 years ago. They fired Joe Girardi. Not that the Astros are going to fire Joe Espada, but the Phillies fired Joe Girardi. Robbie Thompson leads them to the World Series. The Nationals of 2019 were 19-31. They win the World Series. So I think they have a makeup that can get to the World Series. That lineup, doesn't look as treacherous as it once did. But, I mean, a month of hot stretch from Altuve, Alvarez, and Bregman, and Kyle Tucker has been unbelievable. I mean, those 3-4 guys hitting in harmony, hitting in sync with one another, they can absolutely carry the Astros. And then, you hope that guys like their pitcher, Ronel Blanco, who threw a no-hitter early in the season, Hunter Brown, who has been very up and down, who I think a lot of folks thought was going to turn into a star, and Framber Valdez has kind of just been, and Verlander's been mediocre. Like, that pitching staff, I think has a lot of quality arms. So what was your original question? Wouldn't shock me if the Astros get to the World Series again. They've got the postseason pedigree. They do.
All right, update on our poll that we started at the beginning of this segment for the Minnesota Timberwolves tonight. What type of game is it? A must-win, a can't-lose, or a gotta-have it? Are you interested in the results, Pat, so far?
Yeah, I'm very interested. I'd like to hear them. I would say most folks are saying that this is a must-win. I think they're agreeing with us.
70% say must win. 16% say gotta have it. Only 12% say can't lose, which is odd. Like, you would think down 2-0, you can't lose this game. And only 12% is saying that they can't lose the game. I find that strikingly odd. We did have Patrick at Filthy Creatures chime in. There ain't no difference between a must win and a can't lose, and a gotta have it is. I don't know. Oh, and a gotta have it is, I don't know, at the BetQL app. So Patrick, you don't get the difference between a must-win and a can't lose. Can you pay a little attention here, please?
He doesn't get it. He doesn't get the intricacies.
Either one of them, in a scenario, you have to win. It's a must-win. One of them, you cannot lose. How do you not see the difference?
Now, maybe we disagree here on the nature of what a can't lose game is here, Sean. In my opinion, usually you bandy about a can't lose game for a team that has, like, I think the perfect example of a can't lose is a 3-1 series lead and you've got game 5 at home. For me, that's a can't lose game. You have to close out a team. You can't lose that game and let them back in. Those are the examples where it's a can't lose. A team's down 0-2 and they're on the road, that's a must-win game. That's a must-win. It is elevated above, gotta have it. And it's not a can't lose because that implies that they have something to give away. They don't. They have to go and take this series back. They must win. That's my opinion.
A must-win. Pat Boyle believes a must-win is ahead of us tonight for the Minnesota Timberwolves. I don't know, man. I don't know. I still think it's can't lose, but I don't trust our listeners. And how can you? Are you excited to pick some home run bets? You were in Myrtle Beach last week. And by the way, we were told 2 weeks ago you were a flat-out loser. I was told this when I was out. I was told this, Pat, that you flat-out lost 2 weeks ago. So
the
there's no Mario this week.
The last time you weren't on the show?
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
I was told that you flat-out went 0-4 and there were winners on the other side. Are you ducking being a dingbat? Are you ducking it?
I don't know. I don't know if I lost.
All right, well, we're going to have to figure it out. Me and you are back in the saddle. Tyler Morales knows his baseball. He's going to give us – he doesn't know it like Jake Hassan, but he's going to give us a bet here. Tyler, this isn't college basketball, so please come up with something. Please come up with home run hitters if you can. All right, when we come back, dingbat, your best home run bets the day we will be drafting them, and away we go. It's BetQL's 5-star weekend presented by BetMGM. Continue to vote on the poll on tonight. Timberwolves must win, can't lose, or a gotta have it. And if you don't know, that's on you. BetQL's 5-star weekend continues next.
Baseball is winning on the BetQL network with Bet for the Cycle featuring Cody Decker.
Cody Decker, former professional baseball player, turned professional smartass on the radio.
And handicapper Rob Brown.
Couldn't hit a baseball off a high school pitcher. That's why I played soccer.
Double plays, props, and parlays.
Not only Blue Jays run line here, Cody, I might tease it up to an alternate run line of -2.5.
Join the chaos every Saturday from noon to 4 Eastern.
Can you explain to me how these are the same odds? Can someone please explain to me how these are the same odds?
Exactly what I was
I've looked at this over and over and over again.
On your home for wagertainment, the BetQL network, presented by BetMGM.
Are you ready for the most interactive sports gambling show? Introducing BetQL's Send It In with PJ Glasser. We want to hear from you. Send It In is about your picks, your trends, and your fades. Share your thoughts, predictions, and your best daily best bets with the Send It In community. Set your reminders, mark your calendars, and get ready to send it in on weekday afternoons at 1 Eastern on Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. On your home for wagertainment, the BetQL network, presented by BetMGM.
Baseball is winning on the BetQL network with Bet for the Cycle featuring Cody Decker.
Cody Decker, former professional baseball player, turned professional smartass on the radio.
And handicapper Rob Brown.
Couldn't hit a baseball off a high school pitcher. That's why I played soccer.
Double plays, props, and parlays.
Not only Blue Jays run line here, Cody, I might tease it up to an alternate run line of -2.5.
Join the chaos every Saturday from noon to 4 Eastern.
Can you explain to me how these are the same odds? Can someone please explain to me how these are the same odds?
Exactly what I was
I've
gonna
looked at this
say.
over and over and over again.
On your home for wagertainment, the BetQL Network, presented by BetMGM.
Are you ready for the most interactive sports gambling show? Introducing BetQL Send It In with PJ Glasser. We want to hear from you. Send It In is about your picks, your trends, and your fades. Share your thoughts, predictions, and your best daily best bets with the Send It In community. Set your reminders, mark your calendars, and get ready to send it in on weekday afternoons at 1 Eastern on Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. On your home for wagertainment, the BetQL Network, presented by BetMGM.
Baseball is winning on the BetQL Network with Bet for the Cycle featuring Cody Decker
Cody Decker, former professional baseball player, turned professional smartass on the radio.
and handicapper Rob Brown.
Couldn't hit a baseball off a high school pitcher. That's why I played soccer.
Double plays, props, and parlays.
Not only Blue Jays run line here, Cody, I might tease it up to an alternate run line of -2.5.
Join the chaos every Saturday from noon to 4 Eastern.
Can you explain to me how these are the same odds? Can someone please explain to me how these are the same odds?
Exactly what I was
I've
gonna
looked at this
say.
over and over and over again.
On your home for wagertainment, the BetQL Network, presented by BetMGM.
Are you ready for the most interactive sports gambling show? Introducing BetQL Send It In with PJ Glasser. We want to hear from you. Send It In is about your picks, your trends, and your fades. Share your thoughts, predictions, and your best daily best bets with the Send It In community. Set your reminders, mark your calendars, and get ready to send it in on weekday afternoons at 1 Eastern on Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. On your home for wagertainment, the BetQL Network, presented by BetMGM.
Welcome back to BetQL 5-Star Weekend on the BetQL Network, presented by BetMGM.
BetQL's 5-Star Weekend is upon us. We are humming along. We are an hour away from D-Gen bets. From my Sunday scaries, I've cooked up a nice little 6-legger. Not quite an octopus. Octo, by the way, found out the octopus is because of 8 tentacles. Octo. So for those wondering how the octopus got its name, eight legs, essentially. I'm going to give you 6 legs. Patty Boyle, beefcake, beef the dog a bone. He's got a beef bet that will send us all home. Prediction on the beef bet. He's either going to bet the Rangers to win today, although he thinks they're going to lose the series, or he's going to bet the Celtics to win the NBA Finals, even though he hates the Boston Celtics. That's my prediction in reading inside Pat Boyle's big brain, because when he gives a beef bet, it's usually betting on something that he hates having to bet on, or betting against somebody he hates. So it's usually a beef. That's kind of the thing that Pat Boyle does. Pat, do I have an occupancy in your head there?
Well, I mean, you definitely broke down the theme of the segment correct, and you're halfway there. You've got one of the games in mind.
Oh, we're halfway there.
Whoa, living on a prayer. Yeah, so you're
Take my
halfway.
hand, we'll make it, I swear. Oh, living on a prayer. Okay. Yeah.
Excuse me. You got one of the games, but you don't have the bet. I'll tell you that.
Ooh, all right.
One
I
of the
got
games
one of the
slash
games.
one of the series, but you don't have the right bet.
I don't have the right bet. Okay, so I'm sniffing around. We'll get that in about an hour. All right. So Mario, by the way, was off today at the Indy 500, funneling beers, doing body shots, doing everything as he watches IndyCar racing, and then just tells us because he drank. It was a great time. The sport stinks. So he's off today, but he's been on a heater, Pat. He went from not being able to sniff a winner. He's got a couple straight weeks with a home run hitter, so he's cooled up. But we get Tyler Morales in here. And look, if we were betting, Georgia Tech Community College hoops, Tyler would be all over. He'd give us a good winner. I'm worried about his baseball here, but he's been prepped. He knows the deal. Tyler, if you could pop on camera, we have to decide who picks first in traditional 5-star weekend fashion. So if you would please, wouldn't mind. I don't know what you look like right now. There's no makeup. Is that okay? Can you pop on camera?
Unfortunately, no camera today. We got audio. I'm on a desktop with no camera today, so that might throw everything off for a loop here.
What a loser. Get yourself a camera. I waxed you. I gave you everything. All right, now you go last. So sorry. You can't do rock, paper, scissors like me and Pat. So, Pat, here we go. Rock, paper, scissors, says, shoot. Oh, you got me with a rock. You pick first.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. We got that intro ready there. Big Kenny Henderson, brother of Gunner, might have his brother in one of these picks today. Just kidding. Let's go. Dingbat.
Who will win? Who will lose? Who will look dumb? It's time for Dingbat with Sean Marash and Pat Boyle on the bet.
On the bet. Yeah, before we kick Dingbat off here, let's give you our BetMGM promo. Let's do that. Let's do that because we got a BetMGM promo. I thought we did. Maybe I might have jumped the gun there.
You don't have it?
We got the Grand Slam jackpot promotion. We got a Grand Slam jackpot promotion. I know we do. I know we've got it. But I can't find it.
All right. So BetMGM's Grand Slam jackpot promotion. Any home run bet that you place on a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday on a weekend. Today is Sunday. Very simple. If you place that bet and that player you place hits a Grand Slam, you will get a share of a $50,000 jackpot to be split with whoever else bet that player to hit a home run on that day. For example, on July 31st, if Aaron Judge hits a home run and he actually hits a Grand Slam, you and 9 other people that happen to bet Aaron Judge that day to hit the home run, you will take home a share of that $50,000 evenly split. It's BetMGM's Grand Slam jackpot promotion. And although I didn't have the read, I think I came pretty damn close. All right, Pat Boyle, there you go.
Yeah, I think you did. And Shawnee, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use the man that was in that promo, and I'm going to go ahead and steal your boy here. And I'm going to go Aaron Judge plus 225 to go deep today off of Joey Musgrove and his Vaseline oiled up ears, because when Judge gets on a stretch like this, he is subhuman, or he is more than human. He is superhero level, and he is
superhuman. You moron.
Yeah, not subhuman. Superhuman. Although what he's doing to baseball is
subhuman.
Sup?
You like superhuman?
No, that's not a word. Subhuman?
Yeah.
Or did you just try to create that?
I think that's what it is.
No, it's subhuman is like you are less than human. Human. I use that word wrong, though. You could say he's a soup, like in the show The Boys. That's what they use for superheroes. He's a soup. Either way, with Aaron Judge, he's spanking balls. He's bending baseballs over, and he goes, I'm your daddy. I'm your daddy. I'm going to spank you here. Yep, little spanky spank. A little spanky spank into the second deck, what he did last night. What he did against Yu Darvish on Friday. A little spanky spank. 4 home runs in 4 straight games for Judge. His OPS has climbed like another 1,000 points here in the last 2 weeks. He's on fire. So when Judge gets on a stretch like this, unless you walk him on 4 pitches, you throw one in the zone, he's going to run into it. So I'm going to take Judge to homer for a 5th straight game here, plus 225. The captain, the Yankees captain, is my first pick.
All right. I now get pick number 2 before Tyler goes. Come on, boys. You know what today is for the Pittsburgh Pirates. It's Martin Perez Day. And Martin Perez has given up 9 homers this season, 8 of them in his 4 starts in May. You talk about spanking. He gets spanked by the long ball. And he just so happens to be facing the Atlanta Braves today, who, on a weird, miserable night in Pittsburgh, didn't hit a home run last night, which means they're due. They do, as the kids be saying. I'm going to take Ronald Acuna Jr. plus 475 to hit a home run. Sorry, Martin, you get spanked. Where's Tyler?
All right, my home run, my first ever 5-star bet, 5-star weekend home run bet. Bryce Harper, he's plus 300 at Coors. I feel like an elite hitter in general can't be plus 300 at Coors Field. He hit a home run yesterday. He's going against Cal Control. Bryce Harper, 3 home runs in his last 5 games. Let's go with Bryce to hit another home run at 3-1 in Coors Field.
I like it. We circle back to Pat. By the way, not a snake, Tyler. Deal with it.
Yeah, no snake. All right, get me to Boston.
No snake in the game.
Get me to Boston, where the weather actually doesn't look great, I don't think. So that could be a hindrance. And, maybe you want to wait until 1 o'clock when this game rolls around here. I thought the initial weather report I saw was going to be 77 and mostly clear skies. But perhaps some rain in the forecast. Either way, I'm going to go with the guy that can hit it through the rain. He can hit it through the sun. He can hit it through the clouds. Give me Rafael Devers, plus 425. He's got 10 home runs this year. And you know who's starting for the Milwaukee Brewers, Sean? Tobias Myers, who I don't know a heck of a whole lot about other than that. Speaking of spanked, he's been getting spanked. He's given up 6 home runs in his last 5 outings. He only pitched an inning the last go-around, but, he's been trying to be a starting pitcher in this rotation. So, either way, even if Tobias Myers only goes an inning or 2 here, if he acts like an opener rather than a starter because he can't cut it as a starter, I think this is a day where Devers runs into one. Again, hitter-friendly ballpark, pesky pole right down that right field line. Rafi Devers tucks one inside that today. Devers plus 425.
I like it. And by the way, I'm going to the Tyler route here. Kyle Schwarber, I'm taking plus 220 at home run. It's Kyle Schwarber in Coors Field. And if Bryce doesn't connect, or maybe they both connect, Kyle Schwarber going to tickle the undercarriage with a home run in Coors Field plus 220. Tyler Morales, back to you for pick number 2.
Sean, you stole my angle on this Pirates game. That means we're going to get a lot of souvenirs in for the Pittsburgh fans. Ozzy Albies plus 600 to hit a home run. He has 2 homers in his career against Martin Perez. Let's go Ozzy Albies, the switch hitting guy. He'll be on a good side of either, no matter who's pitching for the Pirates.
That was my 3rd pick. Thanks, Tyler. Okay, Pat, back to you.
That's such a classic Pig Sean bet. Just load up on guys on one team and hope one of them runs in it. You did that a couple weeks ago. You took 3 Phillies hitters. And
I'm
Schwarber
a pig.
Yeah, you are a pig. All right. Now, get me to a guy that just homered off the pitcher he's facing on Friday. In what scenario are you facing a pitcher twice in a weekend that's a starter? Well, here's the thing. He's half a starter, half not a starter. Another guy that has been operating kind of as an opener, and that is Mr. Brent Suter. So when they square off today, and you got the LA Dodgers lining up, ready to feast on the Cincinnati Reds pitching staff in that bandbox of a ballpark in Cincinnati, Ohio, there's one man that's going to be stepping to the plate today with the buffest swag you've ever seen, and that's Teoscar Hernandez. And I'm not going to hype him up anymore. I just think he hits a home run. He literally homered on Friday night against Brent Suter in the 9th inning of a game. Brent Suter is starting this game as an opener, whatever, even if he only goes an inning and Teoscar Hernandez doesn't homer off him. I think that Mr. Oscar goes deep again. He's got a 988 OPS against left-handed pitchers. That is what Brent Suter is. So hopefully he sees a lefty out of the pen if he doesn't see Suter. Hernandez plus 250. And, he's got 6 of his 12 home runs against lefties this year. So hopefully if he only gets one at-bat against Brent Suter, hopefully he gets another at-bat against a lefty in this game. Teoscar Hernandez plus 250.
All right. That sound you hear is me being a pig. I'm going Marcell Ozuna plus 330 to hit a home run. Martin Perez pitching. We now have 3 picks here. Nobody believe in the Martin Perez deal. I'm going back to the Brave Well. Marcell Ozuna plus 330 to go deep at PNC Park tonight. You like that, Pat? Lick it up. That's me being a pig. Tyler, who's pick number 3 for you?
The Mets are so down bad right now. You know what would make it even worse for the New York Mets? A Wilmer Flores home run against Sean Manaea.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Wilmer Flores plus 575 to hit a home run. He has 8 hits against Sean Manaea, also his former teammate when Sean Manaea was on the Giants. Let's go Wilmer Flores plus 575.
I like that bet, Tyler. And by the way, Wilmer Flores started the rally for Edwin Diaz to collapse yesterday with the base hit. Amazing that Wilmer Flores is still a thing. but he is a thing. And there you have that's your dingbat. So hopefully we connect on a couple long balls here, a little longy balls. That's what we're gonna do. Little long balls bet. All right, when we come back to the final hour of the show, our last hot cakes and hot takes. Me and Pat Boy got to punch each other in the face about the Rangers and Panthers, plus GTFO or Oh Yeah, and our best bets of the day as well. It's BetQL's 5-star weekend. Let's have some fun next.
Baseball is winning on the BetQL network with Bet for the Cycle featuring Cody Decker
Cody Decker, former professional baseball player, turned professional smartass on the radio.
and handicapper Rob Brown.
Couldn't hit a baseball off a high school pitcher. That's why I played soccer.
Double plays, props, and parlays.
Not only Blue Jays run line here, Cody, I might tease it up to an alternate run line of -2.5.
Join the chaos every Saturday from noon to 4 Eastern.
Can you explain to me how these are the same odds? Can someone please explain to me how these are the same odds?
Exactly what I was
I've
gonna
looked at this
say.
over and over and over again.
On your home for wagertainment, the BetQL network, presented by BetMGM.
Are you ready for the most interactive sports gambling show? Introducing BetQL's Send It In with PJ Glasser. We want to hear from you. Send It In is about your picks, your trends, and your fades. Share your thoughts, predictions, and your best daily best bets with the Send It In community. Set your reminders, mark your calendars, and get ready to send it in on weekday afternoons at 1 Eastern on Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. On your home for wagertainment, the BetQL network, presented by BetMGM.
Baseball is winning on the BetQL network with Bet for the Cycle featuring Cody Decker
Cody Decker, former professional baseball player, turned professional smartass on the radio.
and handicapper Rob Brown.
Couldn't hit a baseball off a high school pitcher. That's why I played soccer.
Double plays, props, and parlays.
Not only Blue Jays run line here, Cody, I might tease it up to an alternate run line of -2.5.
Join the chaos every Saturday from noon to 4 Eastern.
Can you explain to me how these are the same odds? Can someone please explain to me how these are the same odds?
Exactly what I was
I've
gonna
looked at this
say.
over and over and over again.
On your home for wagertainment, the BetQL network, presented by BetMGM.
Are you ready for the most interactive sports gambling show? Introducing BetQL's Send It In with PJ Glasser. We want to hear from you. Send It In is about your picks, your trends, and your fades. Share your thoughts, predictions, and your best daily best bets with the Send It In community. Set your reminders, mark your calendars, and get ready to send it in on weekday afternoons at 1 Eastern on Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. On your home for wagertainment, the BetQL network, presented by BetMGM.
Baseball is winning on the BetQL network with Bet for the Cycle featuring Cody Decker
Cody Decker, former professional baseball player, turned professional smartass on the radio.
and handicapper Rob Brown.
Couldn't hit a baseball off a high school pitcher. That's why I played soccer.
Double plays, props, and parlays.
Not only Blue Jays run line here, Cody, I might tease it up to an alternate run line of -2.5.
Join the chaos every Saturday from noon to 4 Eastern.
Can you explain to me how these are the same odds? Can someone please explain to me how these are the same odds?
Exactly what I was
I've
gonna
looked at
say.
this over and over and over again.
On your home for wagertainment, the BetQL Network, presented by BetMGM.
Are you ready for the most interactive sports gambling show? Introducing BetQL's Send It In with PJ Glasser. We want to hear from you. Send It In is about your picks, your trends, and your fades. Share your thoughts, predictions, and your best daily best bets with the Send It In community. Set your reminders, mark your calendars, and get ready to send it in on weekday afternoons at 1 Eastern on Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. On your home for wagertainment, the BetQL Network, presented by BetMGM.
Starts now with Sean Marash.
I will punch you in your stupid face, and I hate the Knicks. I hate their fans.
And Pat Boyle.
That's probably why I'm not a GM in the NFL, but if I was, I would probably take a huge swing on Michael Penix.
Turning your faith into fortune.
Few things in the gambling world I can't wait to bet more than the Jets under right now.
While serving up hot cakes and hot takes.
If Chet Holmgren was on that team, he's probably putting up better numbers than Wemby.
It's BetQL 5-Star Weekend, presented by BetMGM.
BetQL's 5-Star Weekend. The final hour is upon us. BetMGM presents us. It's Sean Morash. It's Patty Big Sack Boyle. Here we are, a big hour ahead. GTFO or Oh Yeah comes your way in 20 minutes. In 40 minutes, we get our best bets of the day. Patty's beef bet. DGen bets. Sunday scaries. Woo! Away we go. I do have to say, it's clean your cooler season before we get to hot takes and hot cakes. All right. Now, again, for all of you living in the South or out West that have you nice weather all year long, good for you. But in the North, the Northeast, as we started to poke our head back outside end of April, May, this really is the welcoming. You might be, hitting somewhere or maybe having people over for the first time outside. I did a little cooler clean out, some skunky beers from a couple weeks ago. I didn't realize was still in there. Boy, the cooler stinks. The cooler stinks, and now I got to do an extra washout boil. And now my hands stink, frankly. So it's cooler clean out season. Be weary of your coolers, is all I'm telling you.
Yeah, well, maybe that's on you for just not, using proper maintenance of a cooler when you do use it, because then you save yourself opening up to a stinky, skunky, smelly, a lot of different oozes and juices in there in your cooler. And now you got to hose it down. Now your hands stink. Now your fingers stink. Now you're the cooties guy.
But cooties gras.
So what are you doing? So what is it? A hose down for you? How you cleaning your cooler?
Yeah, break out the power washer and really go for a full frontal cleaning here.
It's that bad, huh?
It stinks. My hands
I
stink.
mean, what kind of things are you putting in your cooler that has made it stink like that?
I don't want to give any beers a bad name, but one of them exploded and it has a rough smell. We're going back to the Rangers Capital series, put it that way. That's where this is from. So it's quite a few weeks.
I mean, you could just dump a couple of ice bags in the cooler and just, hopefully that'll eradicate it, mask the problem rather than addressing it.
I put it this way. I got about 25 people coming over to watch Rangers Panthers this afternoon. 25 people, all right? I don't want them having stinky beers. That's all. I don't want them having stinky beers.
Are you're supplying for all these people? It's not, hey, bring your stuff.
Food, everybody's pretty good about it. So we do usually good get-togethers. But for a 3:00 in the afternoon game, I've said this time I have a pretty good setup. I have multiple TVs outside, little outdoor bar. I have the pool going. So people coming over to watch the game, this is the place to be today. Is my house. So I will not be supplying all of their alcohol. I have plenty of liquor and stuff, but people will bring whatever they want to drink. I load up the coolers with ice, load them up. But I'll be cooking, man. Burgers, dogs, sausage, peps. I got some grilled chicken marinating. We're gonna have a good little afternoon here, and hopefully, which we're gonna get to in a second. Hopefully, a Ranger win, and I think that leads us into hot cakes and hot takes.
Good morning, people. Boy, do I need some hot takes and hot cakes. Pat Boyle and Sean Marash, give it to them.
All right, we've done plenty of NBA, plenty of baseball today, Memorial Day weekend, but it looks like we have some hot take, hot cakeism when it comes to the game of puck, the game of hockey. And I'll start it off before Pat goes with his take. I'm taking Artemi Panarin. Here's my cake today. Score plus 185. Artemi Panarin, we keep seeing it flash up in all these games. 4 game-winning goals in this postseason. It's been a while here. Feels like 2 weeks since I've seen Artemi Panarin score a goal. But here's the deal. Artemi Panarin, who has been all-world for the Rangers in past years, some have said, maybe gets a little intimidated, big body-checking teams, all of that. Panarin has looked good with the puck in this series. He absolutely has. He skated through. When he has his handle on the puck and skates through in the offensive moment, it's noticeable. His passes, and he's a great passer, have not gotten through because the Panthers do a great job of getting in the passing lanes and going into their total choke-out defensive mode. But I think Artemi Panarin, as he's shown this year, does have the propensity to shoot more than just pass. And I think that he's watched enough film heading into this game. And I think a plus 185 for him to score a goal. Not only is he due, I think we're due for one of these snipes. The way Barclay Goodrow scored to win overtime, I think the Rangers will find. It's tough to bet a goal score in the series because goals have been hard to come by. But I get the feeling today we are long overdue for Artemi Panarin to net one in. Plus 185. That's my hot cake hockey bet of the day. Pat Boyle, hot cakes and hot takes to you.
Yeah, when it comes to this series, Sean, in whole, I don't want to, rain on your parade here or any Rangers fans' parade that you guys have been planning for months now.
Still are
ignoring the President's Trophy curse that is definitely a thing, and that
not really,
that the
we
Rangers
kind of already debunked that.
Okay, sure. But
hold on. Before you continue, because I don't want to step on your take, just one thing at a time here. The last time a President's Trophy was able to even make it this far was the Rangers in 2015. So, if anything, even if a cup is not raised, I think we've proven this is not Boston getting bounced in the first round. The Rangers are eradicating, as they always do, the curse of the President's Trophy when they get their hands on it. But go on.
Sure. Well, just with this series, they're not, because when it comes to this series, and I've watched a lot of Rangers hockey, unfortunately, this year. With clenched fists, watching, instead as an Islanders fan, watching my team blow numerous leads, and I said they had no prayer of beating Carolina in the first round, and they got destroyed in 5. But I've watched these 2 games intently, and the Rangers are not built to outlast the Florida Panthers. They're not built to win this series, because I'd liken it to a heavyweight boxing fight, Sean. And I don't know if you watch this or if anybody remembers this fight. Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, October 2021 in Vegas. And Deontay Wilder, I believe at that point, was undefeated. The big boxing skills, the prowess, the speed, the power, the athleticism that he possessed. That's kind of what the New York Rangers are, right? Now, they're tougher than in years past. They've got, the fan favorite, Matt Rempe. They're a more physical team than they've been in years past. But for the most part, they are built on skill. They are built on finesse. They are built on guys that can skate well and shoot well and have, really, really great puck handling skills. Whereas the Florida Panthers are like the Tyson Fury, where they are big. They have an aura about them. They weigh on you. And playing them is emotionally and physically taxing. The relentless forechecking ability that the Florida Panthers have. The way that they not only skate hard, they skate fast. And you got guys on their 4th line like Lomberg, who's blowing up Mika Zibanejad, and guys lines 1 through 4 who don't give the Rangers a single second of, time to maneuver through their own defensive zone or through the neutral zone. It has been a slog so far for the Rangers on 5-on-5. And on top of that, the thing that could save them in this series, their power play has been a disgrace. 0 for 6 in the 2 games so far. And this is a pattern for the Rangers. They have changed somewhat as a team, but I think they are still largely the same team that went up 2-0 on Tampa Bay in the Eastern Conference Finals 2 years ago and lost 4 straight games. And I think to a certain degree, they are the same team that went up 2-0 against the New Jersey Devils last year and then lost in 7 games. As a physically and emotionally taxing series like this one, as it progresses, the Rangers run out of gas and lower and lower. And just like if you've ever run out of gas on the highway, you can't get to the gas station in time to fill up that tank. I don't think the Rangers win more than 1 more game in this series. I think they've got the best goaltender in hockey in Igor Shesterkin. I think he is largely equalized by the brilliance of Sergei Bobrovsky. So I think your Rangers are in for some heartbreak here over the next week or so.
It's a cute little rambling, Pat. I mean, it's cute. You did a little homework there. Here's the problem. If you're a Panther fan right now, you're scared out of your mind. You're scared out of your mind because the little putty cats down in Florida, little putty cats, who we've heard all about with the physicality. Oh, they're big. Oh, they're bad. I think one thing the little putty cat fans have been reminded of through 2 games is, oh my God, we've met our match. Oh my God. This is going to be way more difficult than even the Boston Bruins was. I know it was a 6-game series and what we had done with the Tampa Bay Lightning in game 1. We've met our match. Strictly looking at this from a New York point of view, we're both New York guys, is totally understandable seeing this from the Ranger lens. But imagine seeing this through a Panthers fan's lens right now, because one thing has become abundantly clear. The Rangers can play the Panthers game. As physical as the Panthers have been, the Rangers are matching them almost hit for hit. And just because it's a different kind of shock and awe than the Rangers are typically playing, they're showing that Peter Laviolette's Rangers are way more physical than those Rangers of the last 2 years that you pointed to. And that has been a big difference here. The Rangers haven't blinked. They haven't been intimidated by getting smacked around and hit because they've hit right back. And that has been very impressive, including a rookie named Will Cooley, little rookies in hits this year, has been physical. Jacob Trouba, who's now had suddenly his best series of the postseason after looking lost the first 2 series because he has a chance to match some physicality here. What the problem here with the Rangers, number one, Adam Fox has been hurt and banged up, and it's killing their power play. And you're right, that's a major issue if you can't get going on the power play. But if you look at it from Igor Shesterkin being matched by Bobrovsky, imagine what the Panther fans are thinking. Geez, Bobrovsky's being matched by Igor Shesterkin. They don't even have the advantage there. And unfortunately for the Panthers, I think that we saw, especially in that game 1, they can go through long points, and they did a little bit in game 2 where they suffocate you and they don't allow shots. But I think we've seen as close to the A game as we've seen from the Panthers in the series, and they still are only at 1-1. And basically game 1 is a 1-0 game until the wheels fall off in those last 4 minutes. And then they lose in overtime in that game 2. And I think they now are staring at the Rangers going, we don't have the advantage on this team. And it's not to say the Rangers had the advantage the other way, but this is that evenly a matched series. And it may not be the most entertaining series because of the lack of goals, but that's exactly why for me as a Ranger backer, better fan, all of it, I am very confident. Because if that's all Florida's got, the Rangers have shown you can't push us around. We're hanging around and we're not going anywhere. And the Rangers have had that it mentality, that intangible thing, and it came through in overtime in a game number 2. And I think we're in a spot where, no doubt, not going to be an easy series one way or another. I think we're trending towards a 7th game at Madison Square Garden. You don't think so. You think 6. You think the Rangers only have 1 more in them. But I think today the Rangers are going to feel a little more confident off of that game. And I think they're going to win this game today. And they're going to put all the pressure back on the Putty Cats in a game 4 to make sure they have to win that game. But I think the Panthers right now have to be feeling like, oh, my God, everything we do and playing on our A game is still only good enough to be this tightly contested in 1-1. We are in trouble here. I am shaking if I'm a Panther fan.
Oh, that was very cute. That was a very cute retort.
No. I did. No, you're the cute. You had the cute one.
Yours was cute. Yours was
no. Mine was educated.
No, it was cute. It was definitely cute because how do you feel? And you were shaking in your boots at the end of game 2. I mean, if Barclay Goodrow and Snipe Selly,
and then I was reminded. What am I worried about? The Rangers.
Well, what are you worried about? You should be worried that in a must-win game 2, where the Rangers no-show game 1 get shut out. Look, I don't know if the effort was poor, but the execution was poor.
You know what? That's a mature answer, Pat. I'm glad you said that because the Rangers' effort wasn't poor in game 1. They had to understand that those lanes were going to be blocked, and it came across as no effort. They had nowhere to pass the puck, but I think they shot the puck and forechecked a hell of a lot better in game 2, and they realized they can't be doing that extra pass anymore.
They did, but how about this? So you get shut out game 1. All the energy in the building, Madison Square Garden. You got John Brancy coming out singing the national anthem, gets everybody lights everybody's nips up, gets them all hard. They're rubbing nips there. They're all hard there in the stadium, in the arena. And the Rangers, it's a perfect start. They punch Florida right in the jaw right away. First round, knockdown. Go in the first 5 minutes. You get a little scrap, a little brouhaha, people pushing and shoving. And you think, oh, let's go. This is it. Rangers going to dominate. And they don't score for the next 55 minutes. They get shut down. They gave the Florida Panthers the best punch they had. Florida ate it and then shut them down offensively for the remainder of the game.
That should worry. Roslovic bangs one off the crossbar, should have went in.
Thanks.
Unbelievable block shot on the heel shot. It was a game of inches, just like it was in game one. The Rangers are going to start getting those inches back. They just are. And, oh, by the way, if you bet in the Panthers today, little Putty Cats, remember one little thing. Putty Cats. New Yorkers hate their taxes. And when they hate their taxes, where do they move, Pat Boyle? Where did they move?
To
They
Florida.
moved to the sunny state of Florida. And not like the highfalutin New Yorkers. I'm talking to the trashiest drunk New Yorkers. They flood down to Florida and say, I love Ron DeSantis. But because they love Ron DeSantis, they still love the New York Rangers. And today and on Tuesday night, the Putty Cats, when they take the ice on Sunrise, Florida, you know what's going to happen when the roars happen and let's cheer on the Panthers? There's going to be more Ranger fans in the building. So they don't even get the home ice advantage. So they may not blink in Madison Square Garden, and that's fine, and they have a good mentality, but they're certainly not going to get the support at home. So a rare 7-game series where 7 home games belong to the New York Rangers happened for the trashiest of Ranger fans today, and they're going to be loud. They're going to be rocking. Igor. Those chants are going to happen. Potvin sucks chants are going to happen. And the Putty Cats go down.
I just want to remind you, as you inch closer and closer towards your camera, you're engulfing the screen. I just want to remind you of one thing here. I would be very wary of the Rangers' energy levels, a team that has the propensity to come out flat in playoff
but they got
games.
the home crowd behind them tonight. They're going to be fine.
Hold on. Friday night, emotional win, quick turnaround, flight down to Florida for a Sunday sleepy afternoon spot here, even in the playoffs. You think, they can't come out flat, so Rangers playoffs.
You don't sleep.
It's an early, quick turnaround. Florida's going to be ready and roaring to go. I bet you the Rangers don't even score a goal in the first 30 minutes of the game.
Quick turnaround of demoralization for the Panthers as well as they're home. The Putty Cats. The Putty Cats are going to get the pink juice and get put to sleep today.
Stop calling them the
Somebody
Putty
get that box. Somebody get that box and bury them. All right, when we come back, GTFO, oh yeah. It's BetQL's 5-star weekend.
Baseball is winning on the BetQL network with Bet for the Cycle featuring Cody Decker
Cody Decker, former professional baseball player, turned professional smartass on the radio.
and handicapper Rob Brown.
Couldn't hit a baseball off a high school pitcher. That's why I played soccer.
Double plays, props, and parlays.
Not only Blue Jays run line here, Cody, I might tease it up to an alternate run line of -2.5.
Join the chaos every Saturday from noon to 4 Eastern.
Can you explain to me how these are the same odds? Can someone please explain to me how these are the same odds?
Exactly what I was
I've
gonna
looked at
say.
this over and over and over again.
On your home for wagertainment, the BetQL network. Presented by BetMGM.
Are you ready for the most interactive sports gambling show? Introducing BetQL's Send It In with PJ Glasser. We want to hear from you. Send It In is about your picks, your trends, and your fades. Share your thoughts, predictions, and your best daily best bets with the Send It In community. Set your reminders, mark your calendars, and get ready to send it in on weekday afternoons at 1 Eastern on Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. On your home for wagertainment, the BetQL network, presented by BetMGM.
Baseball is winning on the BetQL network with Bet for the Cycle featuring Cody Decker
Cody Decker, former professional baseball player, turned professional smartass on the radio.
and handicapper Rob Brown.
Couldn't hit a baseball off a high school pitcher. That's why I played soccer.
Double plays, props, and parlays.
Not only Blue Jays run line here, Cody, I might tease it up to an alternate run line of -2.5.
Join the chaos every Saturday from noon to 4 Eastern.
Can you explain to me how these are the same odds? Can someone please explain to me how these are the same odds?
Exactly what I was
I've
gonna
looked at this
say.
over and over and over again.
On your home for wagertainment, the BetQL network. Presented by BetMGM.
Are you ready for the most interactive sports gambling show? Introducing BetQL's Send It In with PJ Glasser. We want to hear from you. Send It In is about your picks, your trends, and your fades. Share your thoughts, predictions, and your best daily best bets with the Send It In community. Set your reminders, mark your calendars, and get ready to send it in on weekday afternoons at 1 Eastern on Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. On your home for wagertainment, the BetQL Network, presented by BetMGM.
Baseball is winning on the BetQL network with Bet for the Cycle featuring Cody Decker
Cody Decker, former professional baseball player, turned professional smartass on the radio.
and handicapper Rob Brown.
Couldn't hit a baseball off a high school pitcher. That's why I played soccer.
Double plays, props, and parlays.
Not only Blue Jays run line here, Cody, I might tease it up to an alternate run line of -2.5.
Join the chaos every Saturday from noon to 4 Eastern.
Can you explain to me how these are the same odds? Can someone please explain to me how these are the same odds?
Exactly what I was
I've
gonna
looked at this
say.
over and over and over again.
On your home for wagertainment, the BetQL network, presented by BetMGM.
Are you ready for the most interactive sports gambling show? Introducing BetQL's Send It In with PJ Glasser. We want to hear from you. Send It In is about your picks, your trends, and your fades. Share your thoughts, predictions, and your best daily best bets with the Send It In community. Set your reminders, mark your calendars, and get ready to send it in on weekday afternoons at 1 Eastern on Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. On your home for wagertainment, the BetQL network, presented by BetMGM.
Welcome back to BetQL 5-Star Weekend on the BetQL network, presented by BetMGM.
It's BetQL's 5-Star Weekend presented by BetMGM. Just 2 segments to go. Oh, Pat, we have a special guest here, Pat. We have a special guest. Okay. Peyton Morash is joining us here on camera with her Rangers Matt Rempe shirt ready to go. You want to hear this in your ear, bud? Okay.
Hi, Peyton.
Now, Peyton, Pat Boyle there doesn't think the Rangers are going to win today. Is he wrong? Yeah, right? What do we say in this house? Let's go what? Chant it for me.
Let's go Rangers.
Let's go Rangers. And when the Rangers score a goal today, what are we going to sing?
Hey, 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 hey.
Yeah. Now, Pat, that's a 2-year-old telling you what's going to happen today. You going to tell this face the Rangers aren't winning today?
That's absolutely adorable. Hey, Peyton, I love you. The Rangers are going to get blown off the ice today. So just be prepared to have your heart broken and be prepared for a lot of sadness today, okay?
No, you tell Pat. Say, Pat, you suck. Tell him that. No? Too many potty words?
She's turning the other cheek. She's taking the high road on me.
Just give us one more Let's Go Rangers then, Peyton.
Let's go Rangers.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, you can go back to mommy now. That's right, Pat. We're not losing for Peyton today.
You can't kill me.
You can't kill me with
your adorable little daughter, bro. Show her to the Panthers. She'll be eaten alive in the cat cage.
Yeah. How good is that 2-year-old with your Let's Go Rangers giving you the goal song? That's not bad.
It is amazing. It is amazing.
That's good parenting. Bye, baby. We'll be up for a win in a little bit, all right? Start the sausage and peps. All right. Not when we come back. We got to do it now. It's GTFO. Oh, yeah.
It's now time for GTFO or Oh Yeah.
It's GTFO or Oh Yeah. Or Oh Yeah. Yeah. Is that right? I think that's right. Okay, here we go. The Lakers will hire J.J. Redick as their head coach. Pat, take it away.
GTFO. I mean, this is just
You don't think they are?
No, absolutely not. If they're
I
smart,
think
they're
they
not.
are.
If they're smart, they're not. Again, what JJ Redick
But they're not smart.
Well, I know. Well, yeah. Well, there you go. Rob Pelinka, Jeannie Buss. Hopefully, one time they use their brains here and hire a coach that actually has some veteran coaching experience, and not turn this into Steve Nash Part 2 here, like the Brooklyn Nets did and failed. Because JJ Redick can get on his podcast and tell us how much smarter he is than everybody else. All he wants with his podcast, and because he's best friends with LeBron. Does LeBron actually want to have a chance to win a title, or for his last meaningful year in Los Angeles in La La Land, does he actually want to be in La La Land and say, "Hey, JJ, we're such good friends. I can't wait to have these next 6 months with you." The guy doesn't have any coaching experience, and I understand once in a blue moon that could work out. That's not going to work with this Lakers team. They need structure. They need somebody that knows how to get the best rotations possible in this team. They need somebody that when the Lakers have a 14-2 run against them, that the coach can use his hands and call a timeout. And maybe J.J. Redick can do that. Maybe Darvin Ham was just that incapable. But, man, a Lakers team that has to squeeze out this last year of juice and potential out of LeBron and AD and D'Angelo Russell and Austin Reeves, because it's going to get blown up after next year. There's going to be major changes. You need a coach that knows that has experience, not J.J. Redick. It's a GTFO for me.
See, to me, the question is not do they need, will they do it? I think they are going to do it. I agree with everything you said, but I think LeBron ultimately doesn't want to deal with it. Now, we do have Taylor with us now. Taylor also wants to let Pat Boyle know he's a bad guy. Taylor, real quickly, can you just say what we're going to say today? Let's go what?
Rangers.
Rangers. And the Rangers going to win today?
Yes.
And is Pat Boyle wrong for thinking they're going to lose? He thinks they're going to lose. Tell Pat he's wrong. Say, Pat, you're wrong. No? All right.
She
Do you want
knows.
to sing the goal song for us?
Let's go Rangers.
And what do we sing when they score?
Hey, 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 hey.
That's my girls, Pat. These girls are not being let down today. All right? They're all over the place. They want to be on camera. Look at this. I'm going to show you Peyton's freaking jersey today. Look at this. Look at this. I got her being a little goon. It's a Rempe shirt. Away we go. All right? These girls are not going to be denied today. So take your J.J. Redick takes. Take your Florida Panther takes. Girls, Panthers suck. Panthers suck. Yeah, they like it. All right. And away we go. The wheels are off.
An unbelievably astounding job of parenting, fathering, and introducing your kids to the sporting world and teaching them how to be fans. I give you a 1,000 out of 10 credit, Sean. Applaud you. I'm giving you all the roses in the world. But you're setting your girls up for failure. You're setting them up to have their hearts broken. You asked your daughter, who's what? Taylor's 4, 5, 3.
Taylor's 4. She'll be 5 in December.
You asked her, she's 4 years old. You go, is Pat Boyle wrong? Are the Rangers, the Panthers going to lose? And she goes, like you have the most realistic Rangers fan. Is your 4-year-old daughter?
No, she's afraid to disappoint. We have one more Ranger fan with us. Eli, what do you think? Let's go Rangers. Let's go Rangers. Let's go Rangers. Hey, 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 hey. No.
Your dog looks like, he wants no business of being your show dog, your little circus dog there.
No,
he knows
we're playing
what's
the
happen.
cats. We're playing the cats, and the dogs have had it with the cats. So he knows. Panthers.
Very eloquent. Very eloquently stated. I'm glad. Do you want to bring your wife down? Is she a realistic Rangers fan?
No, she doesn't want to be on camera. She doesn't want to be on camera. I don't
Who
think.
else?
Do you want to be on camera? No, she said she could care less. She's going shopping during the game. So.
Can we get your parents, Bob and Nancy, on the camera too? I mean, you're parading the entire Marash family around here. It's gonna be a very sad day at Shawnee Marash's Bob's by the Bay bar.
Can you tell we're fired up here? Can you tell we're a fired up morning house? We are pecking at the goats here. We sense it. We were all preparing our parade plans. We've already looked up train times. We're heading into the city for the Stanley Cup parade.
Planning a parade. You haven't even gotten to the final yet.
7 wins away. Pat, can I also say, too, as we continue GTFRO, that's the saddest part about this Ranger run is that they only have 7 more wins left to have. We only get to watch 7 more wins, so we're very excited to see one of them today. All right. Kirk Cousins will play only 1 season with the Atlanta Falcons. By the way, is there more of a omen on the Rangers than turn around and doing a Kirk Cousins line here? Kirk Cousins will only play 1 season with the Falcons. GTFO.
Just for the sake of it, I'm going to say, oh, yeah. And you don't want to wish injuries upon anybody. Yeah, you don't want to wish injuries upon anybody, and you don't. You don't. Who wants to be the guy that predicts an injury? I mean, I remember I did it with.
Oh, I don't think this is about injuries.
Well, that's the only way he's playing 1 year. Why would he not? Unless like
With the
he.
Falcons, the
Yeah,
contract is really only a 2-year deal. It really is only a 2-year deal, so they could get out after the second year. But I think if Kirk Cousins gives you anything this year, knowing how desperate every offseason team seemed to be about quarterbacks, and knowing that if you traded for him, you could get out after 1 year, I think Kirk Cousins could very well be traded after this year. I really do. I think you could find a team very desperate, and you play Penix in year 2, Pat. I think that I'm an oh yeah on Kirk Cousins only playing 1 year with the Falcons.
I think it would be the opposite. I think he would only play 1 year because of bad play or if he sustains another injury. I mean, let's not forget he's 35 now, 36, coming off of a
Yeah,
torn
he's-
Achilles. Coming off a
it's a big
torn
ass.
Achilles. That's not an easy recovery. So we're going to try to see with Aaron Rodgers too. If he gets hurt again, or if it's just, again, he's not the same quarterback after coming off a torn Achilles, and they give the keys to Michael Penix in year 2 of his career. That's how I can see Kirk Cousins only playing 1 year for the Atlanta Falcons. So I think there's a chance. I think there's a possibility. I'm going, oh, yeah.
Okay. I mean, I think he's only playing 1 year, so I think we're in agreement just for different reasons. The New York Knicks will add another star this offseason. GTFO or oh, yeah. First of all, I'm just going to start. Patty's the Knick fan. Oh, yeah, they will, but they're not going to add a superstar. I think they will find an adequate star to add. Now, that will probably come as a result of Julius Randle being traded, but you have to find somebody who actually wants Julius Randle in this contract. But the Knicks are going to tinker. I think somebody will be added to be the second best player on this team. Pat, to you.
And we're getting really down in the weeds here and very specific. Who I want is their center, Isaiah Hartenstein, who admirably filled in for Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson, I want his defense because I saw how he locked down Joel Embiid. I've seen this man single-handedly dominate Jared Allen and Evan Mobley of the Cleveland Cavaliers last year in the playoffs. He is a defensive stud who does not get enough credit. I mean, Rudy Gobert is the defensive player of the year. We saw him get put on skates. Now, a lot of people could probably get put on skates, a lot of centers against Luka Doncic, but Mitchell Robinson is a defensive stud. He's a rebounding machine. He can't score the basketball, so I would rather have his defense versus Isaiah Hartenstein, who's a little bit better offensively. He can pass the ball, but I'm not paying a combined $30 million to 2 centers who can't shoot. So Isaiah Hartenstein, if I'm the Knicks, if I'm Leon Rose, the president, I'm letting him walk. So then how do you fill then the next center? I need a center that can score. I need the Knicks offense to be modernized. They need a 5 that can spread the floor and shoot the 3. My hope is that the Knicks trade for Nikola Vucevic of the Chicago Bulls. They have a trade chip. They have a
former
trade chip.
All-Star. So that would count.
Yeah. I mean, he's not what he once was. His 3-point percentage has been down the last 2 years, but maybe he gets his career rejuvenated. We saw Brook Lopez rejuvenate his career for the Milwaukee Bucks here. So I think that you could get some rejuvenation for Nikola Vucevic. But in terms of how the question is laid out, do they add another star? GTFO. They're not trading Julius Randle. I don't want them to trade Julius Randle. So there's only so much room that the Knicks can operate under the salary cap, because the most important is the star that they'll be adding is a star that they're keeping. They need to re-sign OG Anunoby, who I think is probably, you look at a contract, probably 4 years, $150 million.
A lot for a guy chronically injured. A lot for a guy who's chronically injured to have to rely on a team coach that plays a ton of minutes. I like OG. I love what he brought to the table. That might be a bad long-term fit, though. Just saying.
I saw what
of
the
money
ceiling.
invested in a guy who doesn't play.
I saw what the ceiling was with OG Anunoby, and it was the Knicks going 16-2 in the month of January and obliterating teams' average margin of victory of 18 points per game. So that's the banner that we're going to hang in MSG. Hey, we were really great in January. But yeah, no, the Knicks are not adding another star. The only possible situation scenario that I could see, we're talking about blockbuster, is the Knicks. The only way Julius Randle would get traded is if it's him along with all the first-round draft picks the Knicks have for Devin Booker. That is the only, I think, realistic scenario blockbuster trade where the Knicks add another superstar. But they're not adding just another star on its own merit, free agency, or a trade like that.
Okay. All right. One more here, or maybe 2 more. We'll see. GTFO or oh yeah. The Detroit Lions will win the NFC this year. That bet right now is plus 550. This is a fun one. I'll start. I'm going to say GTFO. I don't think they do. I want to buy Dan Campbell. I think the Lions will be competitive. Here's the problem. I'm facing this own dilemma with my own team. I know he just got paid. I know that he's gone to a Super Bowl. I still think ultimately Jared Goff will be the reason why the Lions don't fully get over the hump and get to a Super Bowl here.
Well, he didn't really hold them back at all last year.
I understand, but still, he couldn't make the extra plays when the game got tight in the fourth quarter last year. I know it wasn't all his fault. I know they're explosive, and it's unfair because I like Jared Goff. But if Jared Goff was in the AFC and these were the Lions, we're not even considering this bet. Put it that way.
Well, dude, blame their defense. They had a 24-7 lead at halftime. They got 27 points in the second half. And, you want to crush Dan Campbell for going for it all those times and not kicking the field goal, not taking the points. Like, that's what he did all year long. But it just happened. It was a perfect storm of the 49ers got stops, and the Detroit Lions defense couldn't stop a nosebleed. So it's not – I don't think Jared Goff is holding them back. I'm going to go ahead and say, oh, yeah. I'm going to take a flyer on the Detroit Lions to win the NFC, at some point as we get closer to the season. I'm not betting it now. But, I mean, look – we had all the hype around them last year. Oh, this team is ready to go here. They barely missed the playoffs last year. Nobody wanted to buy in on the hype. They delivered on the hype. They were a quarter away from going to the Super Bowl a year after missing the playoffs. Jared Goff, like you said, has been to the Super Bowl before. He's got all the tools to do it. I mean, that offense is a wagon. That offense is a wagon. And they basically have the same exact offense from last year, the same offensive line that was running guys over, bulldozing people, the same wide receiver room. Sam Laporta now in another year under this system. And their defense has only gotten better. That's the big issue, is can the defense get big stops for them in the postseason? I think they can. I think you got DJ Reader and Marcus Davenport now rushing the quarterback for this team. I think the Lions are going to the Super Bowl.
Wow. Again, I'm GTFO in that. All right. Can we squeeze one more in here quickly? Someone other than Caleb Williams will win Rookie of the Year in the NFL. Pat?
That's an easy one for me, and then I'll tee you up here, Sean. You know how I feel about Caleb Williams. I know how you feel about Caleb Williams. That's a big GTFO. Oh, wait. Well, somebody other than Caleb Williams. Yes, yeah. It's an oh, yeah, for me. Because I don't think Caleb Williams is going to be very good. So that's just what it comes down. I don't think he's very good, so oh, yeah.
Yeah, and a loaded wide receiver draft. You never know. A running back like Kyron Williams was last year can come out of nowhere, take it. I know everybody wants to assume quarterback. Maybe Drake May surprises us. I don't think any of these quarterbacks are ready to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. Obviously, Penix isn't going to play either, and I'm not a buyer. But maybe J.J. McCarthy finds a way and doesn't have a great career because he has Justin Jefferson and throws for enough yards, and he can. But, yeah, I'm with you. I don't think Caleb Williams is going to do enough to win Offensive Rookie of the Year unless it's just the Caleb Williams Invitational, and the NFL wants to make sure he wins Offensive Rookie of the Year. All right, we come back. We got a Sunday Scary. We got a D-Gen bet. And, of course, Pat Boyle's long-awaited beef bet. Where will it be? Will it be double pattied? Get it? We're going to see next. GTFO or Oh Yeah Now ending, and the show ending next. It's Betql Spot.
Baseball is winning on the BetQL network with Bet for the Cycle featuring Cody Decker.
Cody Decker, former professional baseball player, turned professional smartass on the radio.
And handicapper Rob Brown.
Couldn't hit a baseball off a high school pitcher. That's why I played soccer.
Double plays, props, and parlays.
Not only Blue Jays run line here, Cody, I might tease it up to an alternate run line of -2.5.
Join the chaos every Saturday from noon to 4 Eastern.
Can you explain to me how these are the same odds? Can someone please explain to me how these are the same odds?
Exactly what
I've looked at this over and over and over again.
On your home for wagertainment, the BetQL Network, presented by BetMGM.
Are you ready for the most interactive sports gambling show? Introducing BetQL's Send It In with PJ Glasser. We want to hear from you. Send It In is about your picks, your trends, and your fades. Share your thoughts, predictions, and your best daily best bets with the Send It In community. Set your reminders, mark your calendars, and get ready to send it in on weekday afternoons at 1 Eastern on Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. On your home for wagertainment, the BetQL Network, presented by BetMGM.
Baseball is winning on the BetQL network with Bet for the Cycle featuring Cody Decker
Cody Decker, former professional baseball player, turned professional smartass on the radio.
and handicapper Rob Brown.
Couldn't hit a baseball off a high school pitcher. That's why I played soccer.
Double plays, props, and parlays.
Not only Blue Jays run line here, Cody, I might tease it up to an alternate run line of -2.5.
Join the chaos every Saturday from noon to 4 Eastern.
Can you explain to me how these are the same odds? Can someone please explain to me how these are the same odds?
Exactly what I was
I've
gonna
looked at
say.
this over and over and over again.
On your home for wagertainment, the BetQL network, presented by BetMGM.
Are you ready for the most interactive sports gambling show? Introducing BetQL Send It In with PJ Glasser. We want to hear from you. Send It In is about your picks, your trends, and your fades. Share your thoughts, predictions, and your best daily best bets with the Send It In community. Set your reminders, mark your calendars, and get ready to send it in on weekday afternoons at 1 Eastern on Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. On your home for wagertainment, the BetQL network, presented by BetMGM.
Baseball is winning on the BetQL network with Bet for the Cycle featuring Cody Decker
Cody Decker, former professional baseball player, turned professional smartass on the radio.
and handicapper Rob Brown.
Couldn't hit a baseball off a high school pitcher. That's why I played soccer.
Double plays, props, and parlays.
Not only Blue Jays run line here, Cody, I might tease it up to an alternate run line of -2.5.
Join the chaos every Saturday from noon to 4 Eastern.
Can you explain to me how these are the same odds? Can someone please explain to me how these are the same odds?
Exactly what I was
I've
gonna
looked at this
say.
over and over and over again.
On your home for wagertainment, the BetQL network, presented by BetMGM.
Are you ready for the most interactive sports gambling show? Introducing BetQL Send It In with PJ Glasser. We want to hear from you. Send It In is about your picks, your trends, and your fades. Share your thoughts, predictions, and your best daily best bets with the Send It In community. Set your reminders, mark your calendars, and get ready to send it in on weekday afternoons at 1 Eastern on Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. On your home for wagertainment, the BetQL network, presented by BetMGM.
Welcome back to BetQL 5-Star Weekend on the BetQL network, presented by BetMGM.
It's BetQL's 5-Star Weekend. That's right, Tyler. Used to eat like a pig. All right, it's BetQL's 5-Star Weekend. It's Sean Morris. It's Pat Boyle closing out the show strong. Been a fun show. Debating things, basketball, baseball, Indy 500 overrated. By the way, I do have results to a poll question right now. That poll question would be, what type of game is tonight for the Timberwolves? Is it a must-win, a can't lose, or a gotta have it? At 67%, people are calling tonight's game a must-win for the Timberwolves. 18% say it's a can't lose. 15% only say it's a gotta have it. So that's where we're at. The majority of America believes must win more than a can't, which shocks me. They can't lose this game tonight. That's what I would put it at, but there we are. Now, Pat Boyle, are you ready? Are you ready?
I'm ready any second of every day for whatever you want to throw at me.
Degeneration bets.
I might be a year older. I might be a little grayer. But at the end of the day, I'm still a degenerate.
Yeah. All right,
Oh.
D-Gen bet. Here we go. Here's where I'm going to give you a D-Gen bet today. If you care about racing, the racing eyes today are focused where, Pat Boyle?
Indy 500?
That's right. So when everybody looks, I glance. When everybody zigs, I zag. You're all focused on the Indy 500, and there is rain in the forecast. I tell you, forget the Indy 500. We have some evening racing at the Coca-Cola 600 for NASCAR today. So, if everybody's focused on Indy, how about a NASCAR D-Gen bet? Well, forget who's going to win. Forget this. I'm going to give you a top 10 finish in NASCAR today. And I'm going to bring you the man, the little man who packs a big punch, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., who had no problem looking a Bush in the face and saying, screw you, get out of my trailer, pal, in one of the oddest moments I've seen in NASCAR, a post-All-Star race fight. I don't know if you saw this, Pat. It was insane. And Ricky Stenhouse and his dad took care of business. So how do I think that piggybacks? I think Ricky Stenhouse finishes top 10 today. He's outside the favorites. He's at plus 380 for a top 10 finish today. Give me Stenhouse piggybacking off of last night's punch to finish top 10 at the Coca-Cola 600. What do you got, Pat?
Yeah, that is some D-Gen stuff right there, man.
Top 10 finish at the Coca-Cola 600?
I mean, my goodness. Credit to you. Credit to you. When everybody zigs, you do zag. You know me, Shawnee. You know what my favorite niche sport is. You know what I go goo-goo and gaga for. Say it with
Tennis.
me. Yeah, oh yeah.
Tennis.
You know what today is? You know what today is?
Today is the Grand Prix 7000 in Germany.
Nope. Today is day one of the second Grand Slam of the year. It's the
French Open. Can I guess? Wimbledon comes at some point in the middle of the summer before the U.S. Open ends it. So which one did we have already? We had the Australian starts off really early when people aren't into it. So it's got to be France on clay.
Yep, the French Open.
A big
Garros.
Nadal event of years past.
Yeah, well, that it's kind of sad for Nadal because he has come back from a long injury break again, and he has faced two top 10 players so far. He's gotten smashed twice. He actually faced one guy twice and beat him the second time, but he has to use a protected ranking because he hasn't played in basically a year, and he drew a top 5 player in the world, Alexander Zverev, in the first round. So you might see Nadal get knocked out in the first round. If you want to bet on vibes and you want to bet on legacy, I think he's plus 300, and I think he plays either tomorrow or Tuesday. I forget if he's playing tomorrow or Tuesday. They split the first round up into 3 days. But no, I got a better bet for you. I got one for today. It is day one of the French Open, and you got a match that's going to be the night session, and you got two other legends that are faded, and it's kind of sad watching them play at this point. I mean, if you're being like brutally honest, Stan Wawrinka. Do you know Stan, the man? Sean, have you heard of him?
No, I don't. I don't know. But is he on the Van Brink of elimination?
Yeah, well, he won the French Open before, and I know you know this guy. I know you know Andy Murray.
Yeah, no, of course. Me and Andy go way back.
Yep, you and Andy. So Wawrinka and Andy Murray are playing tonight. It's almost like when the WWE does the loser goes home, like the loser leaves town or the loser has to retire. These guys Andy Murray's basically said he's going to retire at Wimbledon, so his time is coming in the next month and a half. Pretty sad that we're going to have what I think is the end of Rafa Nadal's career and then Andy Murray's career in the span of like 2 months. And Stan Wawrinka should retire. He's 38. He basically can't even get through like a best of 3 match. Now, when the Grand Slams happen, it's a best of 5. So the angle I'm taking for this match here today is the over-under is set at 38.5. And I'm going to take the under. I'm taking the under 38.5 solely because I think, one, if not both of these guys will run out of gas pretty quickly. And that in a best of 5 match, even if this goes to 4 sets, whoever loses the match probably taps out. You probably see a 6-1 or a 6-2 in the 4th set. So I just don't think that if it goes 5, then chances are that it goes over. But if I don't see it going the distance because I see one of these guys running out of gas and probably losing the 4th set or, get swept in straight sets pretty cheaply. So even if it does go 4 sets, I don't think on clay, which is the slowest of surfaces, the least amount of games, whereas grass, you normally see a lot of higher games, high game totals and tie breaks because the surface is so fast. Murray, Wawrinka, under 38.5. That's your D-Gen bet.
All right. So without further ado, let me give you a Sunday Scary.
The weekend is almost over, but there's still time to place just one more bet. Don't panic. There's still time to win it all back. It's time for the Sunday Scaries.
All right, I got a fluctuator on odds somewhere between 23 and 24 to 1 plus 23.38 is where I'm getting it right now on a 6-legger with 3 sports all combined. All right, let's start it off for the ice. You're getting a big game coming up here. Rangers and Panthers, 3 o'clock. Look, it's chalky. Give me the under 5.5 goals. That under would have hit 2 straight games. I don't know what makes you think suddenly the floodgates are going to open. Pat alluded to maybe a little bit of a sleepy turnaround afternoon. I think the low goal total continues. Give me under 5.5 goals in that game. All right, on the court tonight, big, obviously, game 3. Some might call it a can't-lose spot for the Timberwolves. I'm taking Naz Reid to score 10 or more points in this game. I mentioned him at the top. You're getting positive money on this play. Kyrie Irving, 25 or more points. I think he's going to hit a couple big shots tonight. And you talked about the Ant-Man looking like an actual ant coming up small. Give me Anthony Edwards on 3 or more threes. I think that he's going to have to hit some long-range shots in this game to really get the Timberwolves feeling back that juice. 3 or more threes from Anthony Edwards. Those are my 3 legs in that. Under 5.5 goals, as I mentioned, Rangers, Panthers. My 2 baseball plays of the day. This is what we call a tack-on. The Orioles, straight up, Dean Kramer on the mound, in Chicago, money line. Anytime you're betting against the White Sox, you got to like tacking that on as a leg. And with Wu and Corbin on the hill, give me the Nationals and Mariners today under 9 runs. A little sensibility. Wu pitched great versus the Yankees his last time out. I think we're going under 9 runs in that game. Orioles money line, under 9, Mariners, Nats, under 5.5 goals, Rangers, Panthers, Anthony Edwards, 3 or more threes, Kyrie Irving, 25 or more points, Naz Reid, 10 or more points, 6 legs plus 23.38 on your odds. That's my Sunday Scary. Suck it.
Ooh, I noticed how you went for the total in that Rangers-Panthers game, and you're not feeling busty enough to take your Rangers on the money line at plus money.
Pat, I believe they're going to win the game. However, hockey at this stage, and especially if you think it's tight, a puck goes off the skate the wrong way, I've lost money. And if I'm going to lose my heart, I need to lose the money too.
Okay.
Things happen in hockey.
Well, Shawnee, you were trying to predict what my beef bet is going to be, a bet that that is bet mostly with my heart and not with my head. It is a lot of the times it's bet out of spite. It is a bet that comes from a place of anger, disdain, disgust for a team, betting against my own team with disgust, like the Islanders, like I've done plenty of times before. Well, you said it was either going to be on the Celtics to win the finals or the Rangers to win. Well, you were kind of halfway there. I'm taking aim at the Rangers and the Panthers, but I think this Rangers offense is going to be lifeless today. Let's go. Boyle's beef bet.
Pat Boyle's Beef Bet of the Week. I'm angry. I'm ready. I need to bet. It's Pat Boyle's Beef Bet of the Week on the Bet.
Yeah. Sleepy Sunday turnaround for a Rangers offense that has not done a whole lot against Sergei Bobrovsky and this brilliant Florida Panthers defense, and a Rangers power play that has been disgraceful for 2 days. And now they got to go to Sunrise, Florida, a little Sunday afternoon spot after a emotional overtime winner. A Rangers team that has come out flat many times in big playoff games before. In game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals on their own ice, and they get shut out. And they only score 1 goal in regulation, first in the first 5 minutes, and then shut out for another 55 minutes. There are way too many idle moments and idle stretches for this Rangers team. They are not putting more than 2 goals past Sergei Bobrovsky today. So give me Bobrovsky under 2.5 goals against on BetMGM. That's minus 125. And that aligns with your under 5.5 thinking there, Shawnee. The Rangers ain't getting to 3. If they
In fact, by the way, Pat, full disclosure, my gut tells me the Rangers are winning this game 2-0 today. So that's fine.
Well, there you go. But we can still both be winners. You can be happy, I can be happy, and your under 5.5 can be happy here in this one. And just clarify here before we say goodbye to the beautiful folks of North America and the United States. If the Rangers are up 2-1 and the Panthers pull Bobrovsky, and the Rangers get an empty netter, and they win 3-1, but only two goals were scored against Bobrovsky, I still win that bet, right?
Yeah, because you're not betting team total goals, you're betting goalie goals. If
Exactly.
you bet the Rangers under 2.5, if you're betting Bobrovsky, yes, you would win.
Yeah, the
You would
Rangers
win.
are not
If you
putting
don't,
three.
If you don't, I'd ask to speak to a manager, is what I tell you.
The Rangers are not putting 3 goals past Sergei Bobrovsky. So there you go. Rangers not going to do it. I think they lose. Like I said, I think the Panthers win this series in 6. So Bobrovsky under 2.5 goals against today. That's how we do it.
All right. Thanks to Jake. Thanks to Kenny. Thanks to Tyler. And thank you to North America for tuning in today. Enjoy your Memorial Day weekend. Patty, I love you, baby. Enjoy. Good luck on your bets.
I love you, man. And your daughters are freaking adorable, dude. You're a great father.
Thank you. That's what it's all about. Let's go Rangers. I'll see you all next week. Take care, everyone.
Baseball is winning on the BetQL network with Bet for the Cycle featuring Cody Decker
Cody Decker, former professional baseball player, turned professional smartass on the radio.
and handicapper Rob Brown.
Couldn't hit a baseball off a high school pitcher. That's why I played soccer.
Double plays, props, and parlays.
Not only Blue Jays run line here, Cody, I might tease it up to an alternate run line of -2.5.
Join the chaos every Saturday from noon to 4 Eastern.
Can you explain to me how these